The Houston Astros bats remained hot yesterday, leading to a series win over the Indians. Tonight, the struggling San Diego Padres visit Minute Maid Park to start a 4-game set. Wandy Rodriguez gets the nod for the Astros. He goes for his 7th win of the season. So grab the cotton candy. Astros baseball is next on Fox Sports Houston. Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight, the Astros open a 4-game series with the San Diego Padres. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies. The Astros just took 2 of 3 from the Indians, and their offense came alive, JD.
Indeed, back-to-back games. The Astros came alive in the middle innings and really did a lot of thumping. Wandy Rodriguez will look for that run support tonight as he goes against the San Diego Padres. Currently dead last in the National League West are the Padres. Wandy has not faced San Diego since 2009, so it'll be the first look at a lot of their hitters against him in quite some time. Last time out against the Royals, Wandy very, very good in a losing cause game. The Astros lost 2-0, but he was quite sharp, and he's been on a pretty good roll of late.
Houston native Ross Ohlendorf, a right-hander, opposes Wandy and Brad Mills. The Astros bats have come alive with 15 runs in the last 2 games. They scored 1 run in the previous 3 games. Which Astros will be in the lineup tonight and how will they produce? We'll find out in just a moment.
Ohlendorf to the mound, the smartest player in baseball, once selected by a poll in the Sporting News. But sometimes you don't have to be smart to be successful. The Astros hope that smart doesn't pay off. They're on the field. They've got their man, Wandy. We've got Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies in the booth.
Thank you, Greg. It is game one of a 4-game series. The Astros on a nice 10-game homestand. They're 3-3 so far. And they have 3 straight lefties in their rotation. Number 3, Wandy Rodriguez, ready to go to work. The Bud Black's Hyundai starting lineup. Chris Denorfia on an 11-game hitting streak, leading off in right field. Cameron Maben in center field. Chase Headley at third base. Carlos Quentin in left field. Jesus Guzman at first base. Logan Forsythe, who was an Arkansas teammate of Dallas Keuchel, at second base. Everett Cabrera at shortstop. Nick Hundley the catcher. Ross Oldendorf the pitcher.
Wandy Rodriguez picks the bump for the Astros tonight as he smooths out the dirt. We'll take a look at his last 3 outings. Back on June 8th at Chicago, got hit around a little bit, but he managed to hold the fort, give up just 3 runs in 5 1/3 despite allowing 9 hits. Picked up a win there. Win at San Francisco with 6 pretty good innings, and then really the best start among the 3 last time out against the Royals. We got no run support. Got beat 2-0. And defensively, the Astros have an outfield of Martinez, Schaefer, Bogasevic. And third to first, they go Johnson, Lowry, Brian Bixler in there with the Altuve nursing a little bit of a tweaked hamstring. Carlos Lee's the first sacker. Jason Castro out behind the plate. Catch Wandy's warm-up pitches.
They're strolling down Home Run Alley. Nice stroll on a Monday night. Getting set for the first pitch. Padres opening a 10-game road trip. They'll be going to Colorado and Arizona. They're coming off a 2-4 homestand. They were swept by Texas, but they won 2 of 3 from Seattle. And the Astros here for the 2 interleague series at home against Kansas City and Cleveland. Lost 2 of 3 to Kansas City, won 2 of 3 from the Indians. Altuve with the hamstring yesterday, coming in today feeling much, much better after this right hamstring strain.
Anytime you see a player come up like that, then you hear hamstring, you fear the worst. You think trip to the disabled list, but feeling better today was Altuve, and available on the bench today to pinch hit if necessary. I'd imagine Brad Mills will try to stay away from him. Just don't want him to exert it, pushing it down the line to beat out a hit, or if he were to hit a gapper and try to take an extra base. So they'll try to stay away from him tonight.
First pitch, Chris Denorfia fouls it. There's strike one to a man with an 11-game hitting streak. He's hit .381 during those last 11 for Denorfia, and it's a career best hitting streak for Chris. Checking in at .285 for the game with 2 homers, 10 runs batted in. He looks at that one, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Ron Culpa is the home plate umpire. Padres are dead last in runs scored in the National League, 243 runs for the season. They're 26-47. Curve is up for Wandy, and it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Last time out, Wandy lost 2-0 to Kansas City. Luke Hochevar beating him. Gave up 6 hits and 2 runs in 7 innings. That one misses, and he's behind 3-1 on Denorfia, who's walked 15 times this season.
The Astros just finished a Cleveland team that was very heavily tilted to the left side in their batting order. Not so here with the Padres. They run an entire right-handed hitting team against Wandy tonight. 6 right-handed bats, a couple of switches.
Out to center field, Schaefer backing on it. That's 1 out. Padres playing huge Petco Park. It's a tough place to generate runs. They go on the road here with that 26-47 record, looking to turn things around with a 9-12 mark in June. Their offense has ranked last in those 4 departments this year. They do try to generate runs with their legs. They're second in steals with 62. Cameron Maben at .207 has 3 homers. He's driven in 22 with a low .285 on base average for Maben. He looks at that one inside. Cameron, 25 years old, from Asheville, North Carolina. First round pick of Detroit in '05. And he was traded to Florida. San Diego got him in a deal after the 2010 season. Broken bat liner, short hop play. Lowry to the backhand side. Just gets the speedy outfielder. 2 outs.
Yeah. Jed thought he had a little more time than he really did with Maben going down the line. Took a little bit of time to gather himself. And credit Maben with good hustle, making it awfully close.
He did. DJ Rayburn, the umpire at first with the out call. 2 outs, and it's Chase Headley.
Jed would say, my job isn't to get him by a lot. My job is to get him.
Yeah, you got him. Headley takes. There's ball 1 to the third sacker. 269 for Chase. 7 homers, 35 runs batted in. Switch hitter. Leads the club in homers and runs batted in. This one goes to Lowry. It's a 1-2-3 first for Wandy Rodriguez. Ross Ohlendorf to the mound right after this. Lineup put together by Brad Mills, who's rooting for Arizona to win the College World Series. It's Brian Bixler at second base, Jed Lowry at shortstop, Carlos Lee at first, Brian Bogusevic in right field. Chris Johnson, who's been very hot at third base, Jason Castro the catcher, J.D. Martinez with homers in back-to-back games in left, Jordan Schaefer in center, Wandy Rodriguez is the pitcher.
Big Ross Ohlendorf for the Padres tonight, and they picked him up back on June 4th. He's made 1 start for them and a couple of relief appearances. He's 1-0 with a 4.5. He's winless in his career against the Astros.
Strike 1 to Bixler. 0-6 with a 5.89 ERA for Ohlendorf against Houston. Altuve could be back pretty soon the way his hamstring improved. Bixler filling in for him, hits a fly ball to right, and that pushes Denorfia back. Denorfia leaping. That's an opposite field leadoff homer for Bixler. Jose Altuve, the last to hit a leadoff homer for the Astros, May 22nd against Travis Wood of the Cubs, and now Bixler filling in for Altuve delivers.
Padre hitters complain about Petco Park right now. Ohlendorf's thinking, sure would be nice to be in San Diego. Routine fly ball there. It's a 1-0 Astro lead here.
2 homers for Bixler. His first 2 in the major leagues this year. Jed Lowry follows. Career leadoff homer for Bixler. They strike 1. Lowry at 267 with 13 homers. Has 31 runs batted in. So that's some thunder to start the game from Bixler. That is the 3rd Astros leadoff homer this season. Lowry looks at it. It's strike 2 from Ohlendorf, who was born in Houston. He's one of 12 different starting pitchers to work for the Padres. In 9 starts, he's 0-6 with a 5.89 against Houston. 29 years old. That misses in, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Ohlendorf had pitched twice in relief before he got a start, and that was on the 16th of June in Oakland, a no decision.
He had been pitching down in AAA in the Red Sox organization at Pawtucket. He was 4-3 there with a 4.61 ERA.
Mike Williams was 0-7 in his career against the Astros. Ohlendorf 0-6. Williams with the worst all-time record for a winless pitcher against Houston. 2 balls, 2 strikes. With Carlos Lee on deck.
Ohlendorf, average fastball. He has a slider, a cutter, and a changeup.
Lowry fouls back the breaking ball to keep it at 2-2. Ohlendorf was drafted by Arizona in 2004, then traded to the Yankees. Pittsburgh got him in another deal.
He's always been more of a fly ball guy, so the tendency to give up home runs has always been an issue. Time to dig in at the ballpark.
Pizza look good.
Might as well come to the yard. We got air conditioning here. It's 140 degrees out. Not like you can go out and walk the dog or anything.
No. Popped up. Shortstop out. Cabrera underneath it. Dog can stay inside tonight. 1 out.
Well, let's take a look at the Padres defensively. Maybe not there in center. Tremendous range. And Everett Cabrera highlighted there in the infield. He's made 29 starts at shortstop. He's fielded 160 chances, made only 1 error.
Carlos Lee has been bumped up to the number 3 spot in the order the last few games. 303, 4 homers, 28 runs batted in for Carlos. And he takes ball 1 from Ohlendorf, who changes speeds. That 6'4" frame. Ross last year with the Pirates was 1-3 with an 8.15 ERA for 9 starts. Up with that one, and it's 2-0. The rumor is that tomorrow night's Padres starter will be Kip Wells. Last 5 games, Carlos is 7 for 18 with 3 runs batted in, 3 doubles. Kip Wells, another Houston native. It's 3-0 to El Caballo. And yet another Houston area product could be starting Thursday. Padres have not announced it, but speculation is Andrew Kashner will go. That's line to left field. Headed for the seats in the Crawford boxes. And Carlos Lee has hit home run number 2 of the inning. Number 5 of the season to make it 2-0 Houston on the 3-0 pitch. That's his 11th career long ball against the Padres.
And nice to see him turn it loose there on 3-0. The home runs have been lacking from the big fella this year. So when you get into triple count, good idea to turn him loose, let him try to cheat on one, get the head out front, and that's exactly what he did. Ohlendorf thought he had a freebie there on 3-0, threw him a thigh-high fastball, and Carlos puts it in the seats. It's maybe an ominous beginning, though. The Astros have been at their best lately when they go 3 up, 3 down for the first 3 innings.
Bogusevic bats next in the cleanup spot, taking strike 1.
Greg alluded earlier to the fact that Ohlendorf was once voted the smartest player in baseball. That might be his MO. He may be that smart.
Bogusevic hits it out of play.
These guys are really good from coming off the pace. So I'm going to give them an early lead.
Well, Carlos went deep for the first time in 73 at bats. Last homer against Texas, and Derek Holland here May 19th. Chris Johnson's on deck. Foul back. Caballo hitting his 11th career long ball against this Padre club, and he had been 3 for 15 against Ohlendorf. That was his first home run off Ross. Last time 3 home runs in an inning 4 years ago for the Astros. That's a strikeout for Ohlendorf for out number 2. Chris Johnson has been surging lately. He's on a 5-game hitting streak. Batting average has climbed to .285. He has 6 homers, 32 runs batted in. He's gone 10 for his last 20 after hitting 164 the previous 15 games. Been a streaky June for Chris. Looking at ball one. Chris is a .333 hitter against the Padres. He is 10 for 23 on this homestand. That home run went to right field yesterday in the 8th inning. That was his 3rd consecutive hit of that game.
Padres have done their advanced scouting. They have noticed that he's been inclined to go the other way lately, so Ohlendorf takes a shot inside with a fastball. CJ saying that this recent streak, because of his willingness to go the other way.
Cameron Maben's over in right center field. CJ has lots of room in left center. It's 1-2 for Ohlendorf. Ohlendorf went 4 2/3 in his last start at Oakland, throwing 85 pitches. Padres have won 10 and lost 5 against Houston the last 2 years. That's tap foul. It's an 8-game season series starting tonight between the two. The Astros will be visiting San Diego after the All-Star break.
Padres one of just a handful of National League clubs that played better than 500 in interleague play. They were 8-7 against the American League.
They beat up on Seattle. They were 5-1 against the Mariners. 2-2.
Buddy Black, very solid career as a pitcher, crafty left-hander.
6th season after 12 years of Bruce Bochy at the helm. Padres don't change managers much. It's 3-2.
Well, those are two good ones.
Yeah, they
Bochy and Buddy Black, both with great reputations in the game. They're supposed to be changing owners in San Diego at some point here.
Not sure when that's going to come down. Still 3-2. Cleveland, after losing 2 of 3 here, is at New York and getting drubbed early by the Yankees. 6-0 Yankees after 3. Robinson Cano at his 17th. Nick Swisher number 12. Dwayne Wise number 1. Changeup gets a strikeout for Ohlendorf, but the Astros go deep twice. Bixler leading off, hits it out to right field. Carlos Lee takes a 3-0 pitch out to left to make it 2-0 Houston after 1.
And Budweiser is available every Thursday home game, including this Thursday against the Padres. Purchase a loaded ticket that includes a Field Box 2-seat, Astros cap, sausage dog, and value draft beer or soda for just $30. Root now and buy tickets at astros.com/guysnight. Also, fans, if you've got any friends, family, anybody you know out here at Minute Maid Park that might be a good candidate for fan of the game, just shoot me a tweet, Patty Smith, FSH, and tell me why they should be the fan, and maybe I'll go find them for you. Guys?
Okay, thank you, Patty. Carlos Quentin takes the first pitch from Wandy Rodriguez. It's strike one to a .324 hitter with 6 homers, 13 runs batted in. Bouncer in the hole, backhanded. Lowry throws from deep in the hole, and he does that so well on the run. 1 out.
Well, looks like he's got a chance to be a very busy man here tonight. 4 outs recorded, 3 of them hit in his direction, and so far so good for Lowry. From the backhand side, back across the body. Quentin, not a speedy guy. What a nice play.
Now big Jesus Guzman, the first baseman tonight. Whacks the first pitch on a line, and that's the first base runner for the Padres. Single for Guzman to left field. And improves his .236 batting average ever so slightly. He's aboard for Forsythe now. 25-year-old Logan Forsythe from the University of Arkansas was a teammate of Dallas Keuchel there. Forsythe, a supplemental pick after the first round in the '08 draft. .293, 1 homer, 4 runs batted in. He had 150 at bats with the Padres last year, hitting .213. Double play depth for Lowry and Bixler. Strike to Forsythe. Forsythe has hit very well off right-handers. 12 for 36. Had a left foot fracture near the end of spring training. No balls, 2 strikes. The Padres have had their share of injuries this year. Here's the breakdown. He's hitless so far against lefties. They've had a total of 683 games missed by their players this year because of injuries. Guzman is 3 for 5 in stolen bases. Padres with 62 steals in 89 tries have been pressing the running game, but they have that huge ballpark at Petco. Bouncer in the hole again. Lowry to his right. Long throw across to Lee, and it gets by him as he tries to stretch toward the outfield and make the play. That gives Guzman an opportunity to go from second to third. Forsythe gets a single, and then there's an error on Lowry, his 8th, allowing Guzman to take third.
Now, one more time for Lowry. Looked like his foot slipped a little bit as he tried to plant to make the throw, and then Carlos could not at least knock that ball down. They weren't going to get Forsythe anyway, but he's got his back to the base runner. He's not sure where he is. And you see the anguish on the face of Jed Lowry.
Yeah, that said it all. Everett Cabrera, switch hitting speedy shortstop, is the batter. Won't be easy to double him. He's thinking bunt, and then he pulled the bat back. Ball 1 to Cabrera. 263, 2 homers, 9 runs batted in. Cabrera is hitting .167 as a right-handed batter, 5 for 30 with those overall numbers there. He's from Nicaragua. Pushes a bunt. Runner coming to the plate. Wandy will get nobody. Bixler wasn't at first. Carlos Lee had come in, and the run scored to make it 2-1. Cabrera moving Wandy off the mound. Got the runner home. Guzman. Forsythe to second.
Yeah, Bixler pinching towards second base at double play depth, and with Cabrera's speed, you just can't afford to do that. You're not going to beat him to the bag. A really well executed play here by Cabrera. It's not that Bixler got started late. He kind of went into a little cruise mode there a little bit, as opposed to just a flat out sprint to first base, which he would have had to have any chance at getting the speedy Cabrera, but excellent execution there by Cabrera.
Cabrera gets a single and an RBI. There's strike one to Hundley now.
That's a play a lot of managers like, that first and third one out. Just not a suicide squeeze, just a little safety squeeze. Push the bunt down. The base runner can read it when it's down if he feels like he's got a chance to score. Come on home. And then the added benefit of the speed of Cabrera turns it into a hit.
3 straight singles, 2 on the infield. Get the Padres on the board. Hundley looking at that wide one. He's a 165 hitter with 3 homers. He's driven in 20. He has started 51 of the Padres' 74 games this year.
A big part of their problem is the fact that they have not gotten production from Hundley and Cameron Maybin.
1-2. Hundley hit 288 last year, 281 at bats. 255 major league hitter coming into this season.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the Padres locked both he and Maybin up to multi-year deals this winter too.
I believe you're right. 202 with runners in scoring position, last in the major leagues.
It's not just Petco. They haven't hit on the road either.
That's hammered on a line, foul.
Maybe a little bit of a Petco hangover for the hitters. They get into a funk because they feel like it's so hard to get anything done offensively there. But again, their numbers on the road not as bad as they are at home, but they're still, I think they're second to last in the league in runs scored on the road.
Their road record is 10-23. Runners going. Hit outside the right field line, back toward the seats. Bogusevic coming over, but he will not be able to get to it. Still 1-2. Hundley started the year 0 for 21. And the only Padre to have a worse start than that in the club's history was Ozzie Smith. He was 0 for 32 back in 1979 to open the year.
Trade him to St. Louis. We got to get a hitter in here. Somebody can play a little shortstop. Let's get that Templeton guy.
Oh,
all right.
That was a big trade.
Good deal.
Hundley had a .477 slugging percentage last year, so there was reason to think by locking him up that they could secure the services of an up-and-coming catcher who's 28 years old. Maybe save some money on down the line. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Monday night crowd for the opener of a 4-game set. The Astros back to National League play all the rest of the year now. That's cranked out to left center field. That'll score maybe 2 as Hundley heads for second base. The Padres threaten to take the lead, and no throw to the plate. It's a 2-run double for Hundley, and it's 3-2 San Diego. Hundley with his 7th double of the year now has 22 runs batted in.
He missed firing there, leaving that heater out up over the plate. And Hundley puts a good swing on it. Guzman hit his ball very hard. Then a couple of infield hits. One a bunt, and then this shot. Now Ollendorf will take a turn.
7 doubles for Hundley. Ollendorf puts one out into right center field. Bogusevic backing to the track. And the tag by Hundley will get him to third base. 2 outs. Ollendorf bumping one pretty deep to right.
Well, he started this game 4 up, 4 down. Looked to be in complete command of his stuff. But even Ollendorf getting a pretty good swing at him.
Sure did. Hundley to third in the air-conditioned environment here at Minute Maid Park, and it's Denorfia up for the second time. He worked the count to 3-1, hit a fly ball to center field, leading off the game. That's a fair ball into the right field corner. It kicks out to Bogusevic. It's going to be an RBI single to make it 4-2 now. Denorfia hit a bullet to extend his career-high hitting streak to 12 games, scoring Hundley. It's only a single because he hit it so hard.
He jumps on the first pitch. This time, though, it's just a breaking ball. Wandy coming off that fastball, trying to get ahead with a little get-over hook, and Denorfia jumps all over it. Really well played out there by Bogusevic. Denorfia has to slam on the brakes at first, but the guy who's capable of stealing a bag. So I guess it's time to stop talking about how bad the Padres offense is.
Not tonight. It's 5 hits in the inning.
You know what they say on any given Monday.
Cameron Maben hit a ground ball to shortstop. Lowry made a good play on him in the hole. And the throw goes over on Denorfia, who has 4 steals in 7 attempts. Well, you pointed it out. I think the key to this big inning for them was the bunt by Cabrera. Got their first run home, and it set it up for a big inning, and then only followed by rocking the 2-run double. But the fact that they did not get an out on Cabrera, otherwise there would have been 2 outs even if a run scores. That allowed the Padres to put some hits together here.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, I'm wondering if you're not better off not playing double play depth there with a guy like Cabrera up there with his speed. Tough man to double anyway. With his ability to bunt. I mean, that was no surprise that he was up there trying to bunt. And because of his speed, it might have made more sense to have Bixler cheating over towards the hole a little bit so he could win that foot race to the bag.
Not a bad thought, JD. Maben up with an 0-1 count. Rio Reese signed with the Astros. He was a 4th-round draft choice from Southern California. He'll be headed for the Gulf Coast League. He was on the field before the game. Little chopper will roll foul. Laid out of the box, Maben. And it's 0-2. So the Reese family coming to Minute Maid Park. Agent Scott Boras here. Big day for them. Patty will be talking with Rio Reese, and the 4th-round pick, 6'3", 195, and slotted for $360,200. Signed reportedly for $1.85 million. This is what the Astros had been talking about when they signed their 1st-round pick, that they hoped that that money they saved would be used later on down to sign some of these guys who were perhaps college bound. Well, they were able to make that work for them. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I was asking Scott Boras on the field, JD, during batting practice. You know, there were all these rumors before the draft that with the new rules in effect this year, more players might be going to college. And he said, well, you know, it's really about the same as it was last year for the percentage of the top 40 picks. Not a major change the way it's played out.
Well, Ruiz is an interesting guy because a lot of folks consider him a 1st-round talent. He had a blood clot in his shoulder, and that may have scared some people away, or people didn't get to look at him as much as they could have or should have. So, you know, it may be that the Astros got a nice steal here.
Speaking
in the
of
4th
steal,
round.
well, the runner was going, but there's a strikeout. So the Padres sent 8 to the plate in the 2nd inning. 4 of them score. They lead it 4-2.
4-2. We're heading to the bottom of the second inning. Astros trailing the Padres. FoxSportsHouston.com is the place to go. Link to Fox Sports Game Connect. Ask the broadcast team. Send us your emails. Brownie and I will do our level best to give you a fair and accurate answer. We can't promise that will always be the case, but we'll try. Sometimes we make it up.
4-2 Padres. There's ball one to Jason Castro. 246 for Jason. 1 homer, 15 runs batted in. The worm has been turning for him last few weeks. 311 his last 13 games. 304 since May 21st in the last 18 games for Jason. His average has come from 209 to 246 in that span. So maybe it's due to being out all of last year. But for whatever reason, his rhythm seems to be coming around. Martinez and Schaefer to follow in the Astros second. 2 balls and a strike. You know, mentioning as we did earlier that Ohlendorf is 0-6 lifetime against Houston with a 5.89 ERA. You think, well, he's just been poor every time out. No, that's not quite true. Every time out. That's fouled away. He lost a 2-0 game here to Roy Oswalt in July of 2010, in which he gave up 2 solo homers to Lance Berkman in 7 innings, but Oswalt threw a 1-hitter against him. And he's had a lack of run support most of the time he has pitched here. Today, not true. He's got 4 runs early.
Yeah, and many of the guys on the current Astros roster really haven't seen him that much. So the guys that put those beatings on him earlier have moved along for the most part.
Good point. Castro hits one out to right center field. Denorfia on the run. That is a gapper. It bounces and it goes out of play for a double. Castro rips one for his 10th 2-base hit of the year. 3rd extra base hit for the Astros.
That was a great replay there because you saw Hundley where his target was, and as he reaches back across, you knew that Ohlendorf was missing his spot, and Castro made it pay a price.
Out to Craig Bjornson and the bullpen crew. Castro aboard. J.D. Martinez has found his batting stroke in recent games. Fouls that one for strike one. 230, 9 homers, 41 runs batted in. He talked on Astros Live about that work he's been doing lately. Feels like he's just into a lot better swing pattern, prepared to hit now. And he was trying something different with his weight distribution, he said, at the recommendation of Mike Barnett and Brad Mills. A little more spread out now. He thought he was standing with his feet too close together and maybe lunging a little bit too much, JD.
That's what I used to do, Brownie.
Did you?
Yeah.
But then you made the adjustment.
Yeah, you don't get to be an 0.72 hitter without hard work and breaking down tape.
Over second base, into center field. Castro's coming to the plate. Maben will flip it into second, and it's 4-3 on the RBI single by Martinez. A good 2-strike hit. He delivers on 0-2 for his 42nd run batted in for the club leader.
Got to take advantage of those leadoff doubles. And the Astros strike early, cutting the Padre lead down to 1. It's a breaking ball and really quiet lower body there with 2 strikes, just trying to put it in play, and soft line drive to center field. Good read by Castro. He'll get to settle in, put the gear on, and catch his breath, because the Astros don't have anybody out yet.
Jordan Schaefer wants to keep it going, hitting out of the number 8 spot again. And there's strike one to Jordan. 238, 3 homers, 17 runs batted in.
Big Ross Ohlendorf, 15-28 in his career. He pitched collegiately at Princeton for former major leaguer Scott Bradley. Teammate there with Will Venable, who's his teammate here.
Line into center field. Schaefer with a nice easy stroke. Gets a 3rd straight hit of the inning. And now Wandy Rodriguez comes up with runners at first and second and nobody out.
I think this one's got a chance to go over on the over-under bet.
Yeah, sure does. Settle in, folks. Grab a beverage, cook some burgers, order some pizza, maybe some pasta later on. This could be one of those
yeah, you might
Monday
need some
nights.
sustaining food to get you through a long night.
Now Wandy looks over at Dave Clark as they meet at the mound. Bunt situation here with the Astros down by 1. If he could bunt Martinez to third and Schaefer to second, the Astros could take a lead on a well-placed single. Wandy has 4 sacrifices. He has no hits and 24 at bats. Headley's moving in at third, and Guzman is camped way in at first. Bunt at third base way. And that was well done for the sacrifice. Number 5 of the year for Wandy. Martinez to third, Schaefer to second. AT&T U-verse brings you this reverse replay. We look at a Bixler home run leading off the first inning. He takes it the other way, and then a 3-0 count to Carlos Lee 1 out later, and he cracks the second home run of the inning. That's number 5 of the year for him.
Home run for Bixler, the second of his major league career.
Now Bixler has a shot and another impact hit. Driven in 6 runs so far. He looks at it, and it's strike 1 to Bryan. He's had 40 at bats, 6 runs batted in. He came into this game with a .462 slugging percentage. The Astros 3rd in the league in batting average with runners in scoring position. So Bixler has had good production for the amount of playing time he's had. And he can play all the various positions too. That really helps.
Yeah, I kind of like his game. Brings a lot of different things to the table.
29 years old. He's been around. Knows how to come off the bench and contribute, and he's been a nice part of the club since he joined it. No balls, 2 strikes. We want to send our best out to one of our crew members, cameraman Frank Trevino. He's in Methodist Hospital tonight with some testing. He's been with us since 1986. Frank usually runs camera 3 or a handheld, whatever it's going to be for you, Frank. We want to see you back very soon. Breaking ball, ball 1 to Bixler.
Astros offensively very good the last couple of days. Leading into that, just a horrific run of striking out. Double-digit strikeouts almost every night. And not all strikeouts are created equal. Here's a situation where you really got to work hard to try to put the ball in play. Got 2 runners in scoring position. The middle of the infield is back, so a routine ground ball gets 1 home.
It's 2-2.
Part of the challenge for the hitter to fight that anxiety. Once you get 2 strikes in an RBI situation, so many times you see hitters go out of the zone and chase a bad ball. They want so badly to drive that run in, they forget about the walk as an option. Force the pitcher into the zone. You don't want to get rung up on a borderline pitch, but you want to chase something out of the zone, breaking ball in the dirt.
Crack bat, that's a foul ball.
It would have worked.
Sure would have. A nice little 2-run double up the left field line. He doesn't mind at all that ball was fouled.
It's a pretty good pitch there by Ohlendorf, because when the hitter's in protect mode, they're trying to stay back and see the ball a little longer. They don't want to get fooled by the off-speed pitch, so they become vulnerable to a good inside fastball. He's able to get in there and break Bixler's bat. But if you're Bixler in this situation, you're fine with that. You just battle at this stage. You got 2 strikes on you. You're not looking to cheat and turn on an inside fastball.
Bouncer wide of third again, almost the same spot as the last one. Still 2-2. Padre bullpen has typically been very good. But with Ohlendorf experiencing second inning trouble here and having thrown 43 pitches already, Padres hope that he can get things squared away and last a little bit longer tonight. He had a game here against Bud Norris. Well, it was at Pittsburgh, in fact, in 2010. He left the game early. 1 1/3 innings, 4 runs. The Pirates turned around and won at 12-6 after he got out of the game. Line shot left field. It's hooking and headed for the corner, but foul. Good battle here for Bixler.
I'm not sure if that was maybe a changeup. He got back-to-back with inside fastballs, and his pitch was in as well. Bixler got the barrel to that one, just couldn't keep it fair.
Got off the railing. This will be the 8th pitch to Bixler. And hits ball 3. What a battle here. This is good. 3-2. 45 pitches for Ohlendorf, and 25 of them came in the first inning. Padre club record for starting pitchers used in a season is 15. Ohlendorf became the 12th man used. He got him.
Did enough work inside where he opened up that outside corner, finally able to get him to chase that breaking ball. That's exactly the pitch I was talking about. You guard against that pitch once you got 2 strikes on you, but the work that Ohlendorf did inside ultimately got Bixler inside conscious and fooled by the breaking pitch. Good job there by Ohlendorf and Hundley.
Jed Lowry is trying to provide a 2-out lift. He popped a short in the first inning. Ohlendorf in 2009 was 11-10 for the Pirates with a 3.92 ERA. Inside, ball 1 to Lowry. In 8 major league games, 6 of them starts against Houston and Texas in the state of Texas. Ohlendorf is 0-4 with a 4.79 ERA. And his teams are 0-6 in his 6 career starts in this state.
Ooh, really?
1-1.
Well, Fox Track says, yeah, really. Really, Mr. Announcer Man, it's right there.
Okay.
Keep your mouth shut.
Please don't. We have a few hours to go, JD. Inside, and it's 2-1. Might have 3 or 4 left. The way this game's going. Ohlendorf's family owns and operates a Longhorn cattle ranch, the Rocking O Ranch, near Austin. Lowry works the count to 3-1 with Carlos Lee on deck.
He's got a base open, but he also has the guy who just took him deep on deck. Lowry, the Astros' top home run man this year. Decision time for Hundley and Ohlendorf. How aggressive do they want to be?
5th 3-ball count for Ohlendorf, and it's ball 4.
Back to the changeup. Didn't throw close enough to get Jed to offer. Now he's got to deal with El Caballo, who's been very good with the bases loaded in his career. And that's how good he's been. Among all active players, only A-Rod has more grand slams than Carlos.
A-Rod tied Lou Gehrig with his 23rd for the all-time lead. Darren Balsley, the longtime pitching coach, out. Padres starters have won 18. They've lost 33 with a 4.06 ERA. El Caballo has Los Caballitos, hoping that he could connect one more time with the bases loaded. Carlos hit the 3-0 pitch into the seats for a homer in the first with the bases loaded. 10 for 56. The Astros have not excelled with a 179 average as a team. There's strike one right there. Foul back. No balls, 2 strikes. Even though the Astros have hit 179 with the bases loaded, they have hit 3 grand slams this year. Jordan Schaefer, Chris Johnson, J.D. Martinez have all hit slams this season. Out to left center field. Maben is cruising for it and catching it. And the Astros settle for 1 run on 3 hits. They leave 3, and the Padres have a 4-3 lead after 2.
Our progressive fans, plural, of the game. I've got Susan and I've got Marion, and I was drawn to them because of this sign. It says now playing the Young Guns, starring BB and the Jays. That needs a little clarification for me.
Okay, BB for Brian Bogusevic, and J for the players whose first or last names start with a J, of which we have 9, I believe it is.
Wow, and then now go ahead and switch them up. We've got 2 signs, so let's see the other one. I know we've got to watch the batter here, but let's see if we can work this in at some point. The bells ring for Brett and Bud. Now that one might have a little bit of a dual meaning there.
Yes, it has.
You want to tell us about that one?
Well, we've been watching the trivia on TV, and Greg Lucas rings the bell, and of course Bud always tries to get the bell away from him. And so we decided we needed a sign to go along with that.
There you go. And you guys are season ticket holders up here. How long have you had these seats? And tell us really what fan. You're keeping score. I know you're huge Astro fans.
We've had these seats since the ballpark opened. Before that, we had season tickets at the Astrodome for a number of years.
And you are in prime foul ball territory. I've had a couple flying my way. You guys each got foul balls, right?
Yes, I've got 1.
And I have 2.
Wow, pretty impressive. All right, well, you guys are awesome. You are my progressive fans of the game. Do you think you can play nice and share this, split it all up?
Well, thank you.
All right, you're welcome, guys.
Thanks, Patty. Chase Headley, the batter. It's a 2-ball, 2-strike count to him, leading off the 3rd inning. 4-3, the Padres lead it. Headley grounded out to shortstop in the 1st. Tops a curveball foul, keeping the count at 2-2. Headley on the last homestand went 8 for 22. Worked up a good head of steam for this road trip. Very important player for the Padres. That one goes foul. Chase last year had injury difficulties. He broke his finger on a head-first slide. That limited him to 381 at bats. His RBI high in his season, 64 in 09 and 543 at bats. Now it's 3-2. He's thrown 37 pitches. Philadelphia leads Pittsburgh 7-3 after 5 in Philly. Jimmy Rollins hit his 8th. Jose Tabata number 3. In the air, and that's out of play. Charlie Kerfeld in the house tonight.
Yep, Charlie works for the Phillies, so he's probably in here taking a close watch at Wandy. Maybe Phillies will make a run at Wandy.
Hard to believe Cliff Lee is still winless.
Yeah, and hard to know exactly which way the Phillies are going to go, whether they're going to try to improve their club or maybe move a couple of contracts. It doesn't seem like this is their year, but there's still plenty of baseball to be played, and there's that second wild card out there, and if they get healthy, they may be capable of making a run. Due to get Chase Utley back here pretty soon.
Could be Wednesday, we're hearing.
Howard after the All-Star break. Halliday still a ways away.
Curveball struck him out. That's number 2. Phillies are in the cellar right now, 34-40, 9 games behind Washington.
One of the better breaking balls. Wandy's snapped off here tonight.
Snapped off his right. He got that one to break. Quentin, the batter, he grounded out to shortstop earlier. Carlos came up with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Moved along to the White Sox. 29 years old. He had a good year last year for the White Sox. 24 homers, 77 runs batted in. Ball 1 to Quentin. And he missed the month of April, coming back from knee surgery in spring training. Line shot off the glove of Bixler, who can't throw him out. That ball scorched by Quentin.
Yeah, this kind of ball dislocates your shoulder. Yeah. Ball had a lot of pace on it. Bixler able to get leather on it, but unable to make a play on Quentin. Line drive single. Quentin obviously a big part of it. The Padres struggling so much offensively. He's legit. They don't have a lot of legitimate power threats in the lineup. This kid hits the ball pretty hard.
He has power.
He's a little raw. We've got Yonder Alonso. They acquired him in a deal with the Reds in the offseason. Looks like ultimately he's going to be a real good bat.
Guzman at 241 with 1 homer. Alonso's on the bench tonight with a sore left knee, and he probably will return to the lineup tomorrow night. 2 balls, no strikes to Guzman. Guzman's hit .290 against lefties this year. He just turned 26. Hit .312 last year for the Padres, driving in 44 and 247 at bats. Looks at a strike there. That makes it 2-1 to Guzman, who's from Venezuela. Seattle signed him. And he moved along to Oakland, San Francisco. At Tucson last year, he hit .332. Had an OPS of well over 900 at AAA. Chris Johnson comes in for it. Throws to Carlos Lee for out number 2. Quentin to second base. And it's Forsythe next. Forsythe reached on the infield hit to shortstop, and that was a part of the 4-run Padres second. Justin Maxwell is available tonight, and he's almost 100% from that bone spur in his left ankle now.
How'd that happen?
Got a shot.
He went from something they're going to have to manage and deal with over an extended period to almost 100%.
Must have been a miracle healing
medicine.
Cortisone shot, huh? They strike 1. So hopefully they can manage that, get him through the season. Altuve, once he can prove that he can run 100%, will be back in the lineup. That could be soon. Line shot into right field. Quentin coming to the plate. Bogusevic throwing to the plate. And the run scores. And then on into second goes Forsythe to make it 5-3 San Diego. Castro came out in front of the plate to take that throw, but still could not get the out at second on Forsythe. RBI single. That's the fifth run batted in for Forsythe.
Inside out swing on a breaking ball that was moving down and in on him. Bogusevic's throw is a little bit up the line. Castro, realizing he doesn't have a play, comes up to cut it off, but didn't have a play at second base either.
RBI single. Forsythe taking second on the throw to the plate. Hit number 7 by the Padres. And they lead it with 5 runs to the Astros 3. And Cabrera batting. Cabrera had the RBI bunt single. Taking ball 1. Joe Blanton's pitching for the Phillies tonight against Jeff Karstens. Karstens has been out for a little bit over 2 months for the Pirates. Bouncer up the middle. Bixler's stationed there. Double clutch on the throw, and he gets it. It's 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left for the Padres. They lead it 5-3 in the third.
Center making cancer history was on this date 1966. Houston beat St. Louis 3-2. Mike Plyer struck out 15, but the real story is in pregame. A Lee May liner breaks Joe Morgan's kneecap. He missed 40 games. Houston went on to lose 28 of the next 31. Joe, of course, was honored on Friday with the Walk of Fame outside the ballpark. As we take a look at Joe, as we again relive this moment in Astros history, that was Friday. You can see that outside the ballpark, outside left field. By the way, if you're watching tonight and you got friends anywhere around the country, this is a free game on MLB.tv. So if you're out of market, like Sandusky, Ohio, where the Bixlers live, call them, tell them. They can probably see a replay of their son's homer later.
Ah, nice. There's a foul ball by Brian Bogusevic leading it off in the third inning. He struck out in the first.
Nice play, young lady.
Is she thrilled or not?
I'm taking my glove tonight. I'm going to make a play.
Yeah, that worked out. Bogusevic grounds to the right side. Guzman with the toss to Ollendorf. High toss, but out.
Almost put too much air under that flip.
He sure did. They teach the infielder to step toward his target.
And the underhand toss, because it's much easier to get the ball up above the waist throwing it underhand than overhand. It's a little high, but Ollendorf able to make the play.
Bogusevic made it close. Chris Johnson, the batter. Strike 1 at 84. CJ struck out in the first inning. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count with Castro on deck. There will be an announcement Wednesday, Brad Mills said, on what the rotation will be like after that time. Thursday starter has not yet been announced for either club. 1-2.
Most of the reports I've been reading out of San Diego indicate Cashner.
Yeah. Cashner pitched at Double-A San Antonio Saturday through 94 pitches. That's a good guess.
It's going to be somebody from down on the farm.
Well, he was in the bullpen. They sent him down to Double-A to stretch it out as a starter, so it appears that that has been accomplished. And so Bud Black may be going with Cashner of Conroe.
Yeah, I suspect a lot of folks up in Conroe that want to see that happen.
I bet they do. They're not buying tickets to see TBA. They're buying tickets to see Cashner. 3-2. We'll have more on that tomorrow, hopefully. Wednesday will be when Brad Mills will announce his rotation, and kind of intriguing to the media right now to see what he's going to do with Bud Norris back. Dallas Keuchel pitching well twice. There's really nobody pitching badly right now. So what do you do, JD?
Oh. What do I do, or what does he do?
What do you do?
What do I do?
You're the manager.
I would. I don't make a trade between now and then.
Okay. It's ball 4.
I would actually contemplate using a 6-man rotation for a turn.
Okay.
Talk to my guys. I talk to my pitching coach, see if that made sense to them. Get everybody a little extra time. Guys have been pitching deep into games lately. Most of these starters are giving you 7 innings or so in their last outing, so an extra day wouldn't hurt. That way you could be sure. But, if Norris makes that start on Thursday, maybe just have Dallas ready to back him up, because everything's all systems go now for Bud. But in case a knee does act up, and you could throw Dallas, then you'd probably have to send somebody out of the bullpen. Right? Somebody would have to go down out of the pen. There are options there.
Just looking at the schedule, there are no off days up until the All-Star break. So that gives some credence to your theory. That was strike 1 to Castro. Because, they had some chances to rest the starters on extra rest earlier and did not do it. So this might be a good time.
Yeah, so you could either go, again, you could do a 6-man thing, or you could keep Dallas here as a long guy.
Right.
Or you could just send him back to the minor leagues and say, you pitched great, you deserve to be here, but right now we don't have room for you because Norris has been in the rotation all year long. He's coming off this injury, and we're not going to send him back to AAA. That would be a hang with him for Dallas, but that happens in baseball all the time.
Boy, doesn't it, though? Well, Brad Mills not tipping his hand yet on that one. 2-1. Foul back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chris Johnson, the base runner, and the Astros down by 2. Bud Norris was fine. He reported no problem with his knee or his hip. So it's apparent that he is ready to pitch again at the big league level, and he could be the guy Thursday. That would be the expectation, that he would be the guy. Foul ball. And as far as the long man goes, you mentioned that. Well, Brad Mills typically doesn't really use anybody as a long man, because if he's down in a game and he brings in a reliever, we'll say in the 3rd inning, he's going to pinch hit for him after usually 2 or a maximum of 3 innings if the side goes out in order. So there's really not a spot on this pitching staff for a long man unless he starts using his staff differently. And a swing there is a strikeout. That's number 4 for Ohlendorf. 2 outs. In the American League, you can see a long man certainly when they don't pinch hit for the pitcher.
Well, a lot of it too is what are the guys that make up of your bullpen? What are they capable of giving you? I think the reason why he hasn't used a quote-unquote long man is because he's wanted to have as many arms available every single night. And if you use a guy for 3 or 4 innings out of the pen, he's not going to be available for a couple of nights for you.
That's a good point. Strike to Martinez. JD singled in a run on an 0-2 count. Hit a ball into center field. And that would be a good way for a youngster to learn how to pitch in the major leagues in long relief. That's a liner into right field. CJ to second base. And JD Martinez is 2 for 2 in this game. Looks like it's taking that work on his hitting that he's been doing lately.
One of the oldest adages in baseball for a hitting coach is look away, react in. Look for the ball outer third and just be ready to react on a ball in and be quick. To me, like JD was looking away there and shot that ball the other way.
Sure did. 2 on, 2 outs for Schaefer. Schaefer hit that single into center field in the second inning. Wandy Rodriguez on deck. There's strike 1 for Ohlendorf. 7 hits for the Padres, 6 for the Astros. Ohlendorf has thrown 72 pitches already. It's a high number for 2 2/3 innings. Hit him to load the bases now for Wandy Rodriguez. And Schaefer's been beating himself up with foul balls off his legs. This time he gets drilled by the pitcher. Got him in the sternum. Left rib cage maybe. Ouch. Now bases loaded. Wandy Rodriguez the batter.
Astros left the bases loaded last inning when Carlos flew out to center field to end the inning. I like Ohlendorf's chances of getting out of this a whole lot better than that one, but you never know. Wandy's still looking for his first hit of 2012.
He chops one to second.
Wandy's still looking for his first hit of 2012.
He's 0 for 25, and after 3, Padres lead at 5-3. Three, top of the 4th inning coming. AT&T trivia time. What 3 former Houston players are in the top 7 on the Padres all-time home run list?
Cammy.
Okay. Well, let's see. Steve Finley? Downtown Ollie Brown? No, he wasn't a Houston player. He was? Nate Colbert.
Nate Colbert was an Astro?
I don't remember that, but Boots says he was.
Well, Boots is like human Google. He's like the Rain Man of Astro information. I'm not going to doubt that.
We don't need a computer with Boots up here. 5-3 lead for the Padres. Hundley with a big cut. Behind in the count, 0-1. He ripped a 2-run double to left center in the second inning. When the Padres got 4 runs, then they added another one in the third. So Wandy looks for a 0 here. Try to give the Astros a chance to get going again.
Would Phil Nevin be in the top 7 Padre home run hitters?
Don't know about that. 1 ball, 1 strike. We think you got it. Nevin, one of those first overall draft choices with the Astros. Never blossomed until he left. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Astros are 18-12 at home since the 22nd of April. Only the Pirates are better at home since that date. They're 20-11. Yesterday, the Astros got their 30th win of the year. Last year, it took them 88 games to win their 30th.
Wow, that's significant improvement, isn't it?
They've done it in 72 games.
Wow.
16 games faster for Brad Mills this season. High chop. Wandy over. Not in time. Hundley gets an infield hit. Could be one of those nights for Wandy. We'll see if he's slumping his shoulders now as he goes back up on the mound.
Yeah, he probably shouldn't have ate that one. It didn't hurt him. He didn't throw the ball away, but they weren't going to get Hundley. I mean, he couldn't have rolled it out there any better.
It's one of those nights to be gritty and gutty, JD.
Yeah, you have to just hang in there and battle.
Ohlendorf hit a fly ball pretty deep to right field earlier.
You're giving up 5 runs on 8 hits. There's been a couple of cheap hits. Things haven't necessarily gone your way. But you also have to realize the other pitcher is not pitching a very good game. You're probably going to be in their bullpen within a couple of innings. So your team's got a chance to put some points up for you. So you just got to hang in there. And we've seen Wandy do this a lot the last couple of years. Scuffle early and then hit his stride and then take you into the 7th inning.
This is a bad looking bunt form for Ohlendorf on those 2 attempts, and it's 0-2.
I know Scott Bradley taught him better at Princeton.
That's not going to work, JD.
Too far removed from the Princeton program.
If that's the way they teach it at Princeton, no, it's not. He's threatening to swing away, but taking 1 and 2 to count.
Might have a better shot swinging.
Yeah, after look at those 2 bunt tries, go ahead and swing away, Ross.
That's probably what he's thinking. He's, hey, man, I took him to the track last time up. Why are you asking me to bunt?
You don't ask a slugger to bunt. And he doesn't.
He's like, Wandy, please stop spinning that baseball. Just throw it nice and straight for me, please.
Strikeout number 3 is not a surprise. AT&T trivia question. Answers: Nate Colbert, Phil Nevin, Ken Kamenek.
Who else is on that list?
Adrian Gonzalez, Dave Winfield, Tony Gwynn, Ryan Klesko.
Big Wimp. Ryan Klesko used to wear the Astros out. Whether he was a Brave or a Padre, didn't matter.
Dave Winfield put his imprimatur on this San Diego franchise, JD.
Yes, he did.
Chris Tenorfia, the batter. There is ball 1. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI. Dave Winfield was on the air with us one time in San Diego, and he used that word.
Yeah.
We were scurrying for dictionaries afterwards, and we saw that it was indeed a word.
Winnie. Big blood. That was a teammate of his in Minnesota.
How'd that go?
At the end of his career, I mean, he was marvelous, man.
Drafted in basketball,
football. I'd like to see him on skates. He used to hit those line drives through the middle, that kind of chopped tomahawk swing.
That was a good time to seek cover. Fly ball to right field. Bogusevic waiting. 2 outs. You know, that was a trendy thing that Winfield did. He could have chosen another sport, but he stayed with baseball. And other multi-sport athletes have chosen to go in different directions.
Yeah, and not only he was an outstanding pitcher in college too. I mean, so he did. You know, if it involved the ball, he pretty much had it figured out. Throwing, kicking it, hitting it.
Cameron Maben has grounded out and struck out. Here's strike one. We get to this time of the year right after the draft, and baseball teams are signing their draft choices. Some of those guys are multi-sport athletes, and it's a contest to win them over sometimes to this sport, sometimes not.
You know, Winfield's case was pretty cut and dry. I mean, he was clearly a better baseball prospect than anything else. I'm guessing he was drafted in football just because he was such a good athlete.
Yeah.
I don't think he didn't play football in college, did he?
Don't think
so. He
so.
played basketball at the University of Minnesota and baseball. But
what was he, 6'6"?
Yeah.
So that's not probably a real good height to go into the NBA, but you know, you can make it work if you're an outstanding player. You can really jump. I don't know how high you could jump. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, apparently when Steinbrenner said jump, he never said how high. He didn't play that game. He did not bow down to the boss.
Who is he, Mr. May? The runner goes inside, and the throw is a beauty, but yeah, they still got him. Looked like he was going to be called safe, but Hundley is gunned down by Castro to Bixler. It's no runs a hit, nobody left. Here's the tag by Bixler, transferring over to that side for the tag.
Back in the box right now, you can try the new Chipotle Chicken Club Combo. By the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway miles per gallon. And by Mattress Firm. Save money and sleep happy. Top of the batting order for the Astros, down by a pair. Brownie?
Well, you see on the left, Rio Reese. He's the Astros' 4th-round draft choice from Southern California. And he signed today. Jeff Luhnow, the Astros GM, has the jersey to put on him. Bobby Heck, the assistant general manager in charge of scouting. And the area scout on the far right, all on the field, as Rio Reese is announced to the Astros crowd. They gave him a nice round of applause. Bottom of the 4th inning, 5-3. Padres lead it. There's a shot by Bixler into the left field corner. Bixler has homered earlier, and now he adds a double. His 5th of the year to get things started in the Astros' 4th.
Hits keep coming. Castro had a leadoff double in the second. He immediately scored on an RBI single by J.D. Martinez. Now the Astros have another great opportunity. Leadoff double with 2, 3, 4 coming up, and a pitcher on the mound who has not yet really been able to figure things out.
Jed Lowry popped to short and walked. The Astros have left the bases loaded in the last 2 innings. They've stranded 6. The Padres have left 2. Carlos Lee's on deck. Lowry puts it in the air, and the left fielder comes in a little bit. Quentin with a catch, 1 out.
A little first pitch change up there from Ollendorf, catches Lowry out on that front foot.
Carlos Lee ripped a 3-0 pitch for a homer into the Crawford boxes in the first inning, and then in the second hit a fly ball to center.
Ollendorf fairly deliberate with his delivery. Bixler's not a speed demon, but if he gets the sense that they're not really paying attention to him out there, he might try to steal third base.
Bogusevic's on deck. Forsythe, the second baseman, was cheating over there. Brad Boxberger is warming up in the bullpen. There's ball 1. Boxberger, the son of Rod Boxberger, former #1 draft choice of the Astros in the late 70s. Change up missing. That takes it to 2-0.
USC, wasn't he?
Yep. He sure was. Dodgers are in San Francisco later tonight. Nate Eovaldi against Barry Zito. Washington and Colorado are tied 1-1 after 3 in Colorado, with Steven Strasburg on the mound against Jeff Francis. Fly ball right field to Norfield. Bixler tagging, makes the catch. Bixler will hold. 2 outs now. And it's Bogusevic.
That would have been good enough to get him in had Jed been able to get him over. But now it falls to Bogusevic.
Steven Strasburg is only the 6th pitcher in Washington and Montreal franchise history to start 5-0 on the road, and the first since former Astro Butch Henry, 1994. Bogusevic struck out and he grounded out.
How about Kirk Reeder? He probably did it.
He might have. Steve Rogers is the only pitcher in that franchise's history to start a season 6-0 on the road. That was way back in '82.
What a pitcher he was.
Oh, he was. Well, he could battle. Chris Johnson on deck. Foul away by Bogey. Strike 1. He's the cleanup man again in this game, and that's the way the lineup has been going now, with Bogusevic cleaning it up now 3 games in a row. In tight to Brian, 1-1. It's Kansas City 7, Tampa Bay nothing. They've played 4 in Kansas City with Luke Hochevar on the mound. He pitched very well against the Astros, and he's pitched shutout ball tonight so far. Bogey looks at ball 2, and it's 2-1. Cubs 2, Mets nothing. Bottom of the 5th at Wrigley. Joe Mather has his 4th home run, and it came off Johan Santana. Cubs have called up Anthony Rizzo from the minor leagues.
Well, the fans have been screaming for him for the last month.
Well, they've got him. He's not in the lineup yet. He's not there yet.
He's supposed to play tomorrow.
He's lighting it up again this year as he did last year. The Padres called him up, and he did not do much with them. Interestingly, it's the same general manager, Jed Hoyer, who was with San Diego last year and now with the Cubs, who's calling him up for the 2nd straight year. And Hoyer said that he was premature in doing that last year. So they've been clamoring for Rizzo for, what, a month or 6 weeks in Chicago, and he's been making them wait this year. Bogusevic coaxes a walk.
Well, the Cubs are obviously in a rebuilding situation, so the fans have one point of view where we got to get this guy up here because we need some offense, and the general manager's like, it's all about this kid's development. Why rush him? It's not like we got a chance to win.
Farmers Insurance report card will show us that in the last 6 games, Chris Johnson is 10 for 21 with 5 runs batted in. In his previous 15, he was 9 for 55 with 2 batted in. Travis Wood pitching for the Cubs against the Mets tonight, and he has shut them out through 5. Ohlendorf misses with a fastball, and he's at 86 pitches for the night. He struck out Johnson on a 3-2 count in the first. He walked him on a 3-2 pitch in the third. Shall we just start at 3-2 again?
Might as well. I think Ohlendorf probably needs, and this is just the little bit I've seen him pitch. We've seen him a number of times now, but his fastball doesn't have a lot of movement. He's not a real hard thrower. He might be better served to throw more softer stuff and then come off that breaking ball. Use the fastball as a fool you pitch a little bit more often.
Line shot into center field. Fixler around third to the plate to make it 5-4. RBI single. Johnson, 6-game hitting streak for Chris. 33 runs batted in. Big 2-out hit.
You can imagine the frustration that Buddy Black is feeling. His team has such a hard time scoring runs, and here they've come out and swung the bats very well against the Astros ace tonight and put 5 runs on the board, but he's watching it disappear, and the question is, how long will he watch before he makes a move to that bullpen?
A 5-4 lead for the Padres. Chris Johnson with the RBI. Now it's Castro. Aaron Balsley out to the mound again.
2 big plate appearances there. The Bogusevic walk and then CJ singling after 2 outs. So leadoff double, then 2 quick outs. And it looked like that leadoff double was going to go to waste. A big clutch knock there by CJ. Right now, you'd probably rather have him up there in that situation than anybody else on the club the way he's been going.
True. Each club has 8 hits. Beautiful sky in the distance there as Bobby Meacham looks over at Chris. And the runner at second is Bogusevic for Castro. Castro doubled to right center, and then he struck out. Ball 1 to Jason. Minnesota leads the White Sox 3-0. They're in the bottom of the 5th in the Twin Cities with Jake Peavy on the losing end so far. Francisco Liriano pitching for the Twins. 2 balls, no strikes. White Sox made the big Youkilis trade yesterday. He's in the lineup and he's 0 for 2 so far, batting second for them. Runners go, and here's a throw to third. Double steal. Bogusevic takes third, and Johnson into second on a double steal, and the pitch was ball 3. 7th steal for Bogey, number 4 for Johnson.
Never made him stop.
Now it's a 3-0 count. And ball 4 loads the sacks with Castro taking the walk, the 4th of the night for Ohlendorf. And that'll be it as Bud Black will get out there in a hurry to make this change. Boxberger's been warming up. The lead is 1 run. And Ohlendorf, who's never beaten the Astros, 0-6 lifetime, got the run support with the 4-run second inning. Has not gone the 5 innings required of a starter to qualify for the win. He leaves with his club ahead 5-4 San Diego in the 4th. We'll be right back.
Jose Altuve and the legend Jimmy Wynn at the Whataburger at Spencer Highway and East Boulevard. They'll be signing autographs on Wednesday from 11 to noon. And while you're there, register to win the ultimate What a Fan experience, which includes autographed memorabilia, sweet tickets, and a chance to throw out a first pitch. Bill?
Sounds like a date. It's a good time to see Altuve and Wynn. Get your autographs, meet those two guys, chat a little baseball on Wednesday. Thank you, Patty.
Jose has to reach up to get his arms over that railing.
Brad Boxberger in 4 major league games has an ERA of 1.80.
I want to sit at the big people table for Thanksgiving this year.
Boxberger is a guy who was with Cincinnati. He was a first-round pick, JD.
Yeah, like his dad. Both out of the University of Southern California. And Boxberger just 4 appearances with the big club this year. Pitched well down at AAA. He's got a good changeup. That's probably his best pitch.
J.D. Martinez is 2 for 2 with an RBI.
There's that changeup to get things started.
It's the 3rd straight inning in which the Astros have loaded the bases. J.D. a .462 career hitter with the bases loaded with 1 grand slam this year. Boxberger was a AA and AAA for the Reds last year. And he throws an 80-mile-per-hour off-speed pitch off the plate, falling behind 2-0. Brad was born in Fullerton, California. His father, Rod, was MVP of the 1978 College World Series for Southern Cal. And a first-rounder for the Astros in '78. He reached the AA level. In the dirt, and it's 3-0.
Coming with the fastball there after 2 changeups. I'm a little bit surprised after the 2 changeups that they called the heater, because you just had the sense that the kid wasn't going to throw it in there, and they had to find a way to get a strike. I thought he'd go back with the changeup there. And Bud Black talking with Todd Hutchinson, the trainer of the Padres. I mean, if you're the Padres here, you'd hate to walk in the tying run, but not as much as you'd hate to see one fly over the wall.
Tie game. 5-5, bases loaded walk. J.D. Martinez on for the 3rd straight time. He picks up his 2nd RBI of the night, 43rd of the year. That's the way the Astros tie it. Now Schaefer will try to give them the lead. Schaefer is single to center, and he's been hit by a pitch. 167 in his career with the bases loaded, 1 for 4 this season. Boxberger's last outing was June 20th against Texas. He came up from AAA Tucson prior to the game June 10th. Missing there, ball 1. With Wandy Rodriguez on deck.
Boxberger is 24 years of age in his 3rd professional season. It's been a quick rise through the minor leagues for him, first with the Reds and now the Padres. Came over in the deal we talked about earlier with Edinson Volquez and Yonder Alonso, Matt Latos, and the catcher going over to the Reds in that deal.
Yeah. Strike there makes it 1-1. Well, the Padres with this strong bullpen, and they were terrific last year out of the bullpen. Adding Boxberger. 3 grand slams for the Astros. They made a trade. Ernesto Frieri, who had great numbers for them, is now closing games for the Angels. 2 balls and a strike. But they felt that they had an arm to spare for a trade in that bullpen. Schaefer chased the changeup. That makes it 2-2, and that's an awfully big pitch for Boxberger.
This is the kind of guy that could really take advantage of a hitter's anxiety in a clutch situation with men on base, big opportunity. If he has command of that changeup, he can get a lot of swings and misses just like that one. You have to be patient against this guy.
Now, big one on 2-2. Strike 3. And that's the way the 4th inning ends, with the Astros leaving the bases loaded for the 3rd inning in a row. But they tie it 5-5.
right, Game 2 of this 4-game series comes your way tomorrow night starting at 6:30 with Astros Live. Jordan Lyles will be making his 9th Major League start in 2012. Last one, he was rock solid against the Kansas City Royals. Just 2 runs on 3 hits in 7 innings of work. Tough luck loser in a 2-1 loss. He'll go against Kip Wells, who will be making his first Major League start since 2009. Our coverage begins tomorrow at 6:30. This has been your Mazda Game Break. And guys, Brownie, we were talking about that during the break. Kip Wells basically came out here to say hello to some people from the White Sox during the exhibition game before the season started. Asked him how he felt. He said he felt great. Threw a bullpen. They signed him to a minor league deal, and well, ended up going to the San Diego Padres, and he'll be pitching in the big leagues tomorrow here at Minute Maid Park.
Right here in his hometown. Kip Wells comes back, and Kevin was telling us he has officially been announced in the press box as the starter. That was the rumor before the game. Wandy Rodriguez in a 5-5 affair, each club with 8 hits. He moves now to the 5th inning with Maben, Headley, and Quentin due up. Wandy has thrown 65 pitches, 44 have been strikes. That's foul back. Strike 1 to Maben. Maben was at the plate in the 4th inning when Hundley was thrown out trying to steal.
Well, these hitters have supported him with 5 runs. Time now for him to take charge and put a couple 3-0s on the board. Only Bud Norris among the starters has received better run support than Wandy this year. It's been kind of a funny year for him in that regard because he's been the victim of a shutout on 3 different occasions.
That makes it 1-2. Ross Ohlendorf worked 3 2/3 innings, allowing 8 hits, 5 runs, walking 4, fanning 4. Foul back. Still a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Maben. Wandy has moved into 10th place on the Astros all-time win list with 79. 1 ahead of Ken Forsch. Next up, Bob Nepper with 93.
Kind of peculiar that there's nobody between 79 and 93 on the all-time wins list.
It is kind of peculiar, yep. 2-2. He moved into that 10th spot when he beat the Giants at San Francisco June 14th. There's a shot to Chris Johnson. He was ready. 1 out. Patty?
Well, join us for our next Flashback Friday presented by Methodist Hospital Systems on Friday, July 6th against the Brewers. The Astros will wear the 1980s shoulder rainbow jerseys on the field, and Jose Cruz will toss out the ceremonial first pitch. After the game, all fans can enjoy Friday night fireworks presented by Marathon Oil Corporation. Buy tickets at Astros.com. Bill?
Jose Cruz, one of the all-time fan favorites. Thanks, Patty. Headley with a grounder and backhanded by Lowry. He takes care of out number 2. Exactly what Wandy needed. Now if he can get Quentin quickly, he has thrown fewer than 75 pitches in 5 innings. And he can stick around. He's due to lead off the bottom of the inning. Quentin has gotten the infield hit. Well, that was the line drive off Bixler, who went high. And then it trickled into the outfield. Then he came around to score. He's 1 for 2.
Did you say if he got Quentin quickly, he would have quashed any opportunity they had?
He probably would have done exactly that, and then he could quaff a cold drink before getting a coiffure tomorrow. There's ball 1. He could also quash any kind of a rally, JD. We need Chad Qualls in the bullpen for this game. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. The reports are that Rio Reese signed for $1.85 million to forego his commitment to USC. That's a hanger out toward left center field. Schaefer over. Wandy's at 75 pitches through 5, and it's a 5-5 game. Presented by Chevron. We will see Kip Wells' minor league numbers for the year. 1-4 with a 4.97. He's promoted to the big league club to start for the Padres tomorrow night against Jordan Lyles. And he, like Kip Wells in the minors, is 1-4. His ERA 5.04. Jordan was 5-0 at AAA as well. Wandy Rodriguez leads it off and takes ball one. Wandy has put down a sac bunt and he's grounded out. 75 pitches for the 5 innings. Wandy stays in to bat and looks at a strike for a 1-ball 1-strike count. The previous 7 starts, Astros starting pitchers combined for a 1.88 ERA, and they went deep into games. Wandy hits a fly ball to center field. May have been back. And that's out number 1. And the fact that Brad Mills has been getting solid performances from his starters means that he really could have pinch hit for Wandy. But Wandy had a 1-2-3 5th inning, gave up just an infield hit in the 4th. So he stays in. And now it's Bixler, who has homered and doubled. He looks at ball 1 from Boxberger.
I think if the Astros were down a couple runs, Millsy may have opted to pinch hit for Wandy there, but they're in a tie ball game, and at this stage, as a manager, you consider who's got the best chance of giving me a couple more scoreless innings, and he made the judgment that Wandy's his guy. He's his front man in his rotation. He's had a couple good innings now after that rough one, so he stays in the ball game. And this changeup by Boxberger is really, really good, and it's not like he's just a soft tosser. We've seen him throw a 93-mile-an-hour fastball as well. See why San Diego would have interest in Boxberger, because they had a fair amount of success with a closer who had a pretty good changeup. That Trevor Hoffman fellow.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah. Worked out pretty well for him.
Yeah, it sure did. 3 balls and a strike. Jed Lowry's on deck.
So you were talking about the Reese kid when the inning ended. 1.85.
Yeah, and the idea is Carlos Correa signed for $4.1 million. That was well below the $7.2 million slot for the number 1 pick. The savings then allowed the Astros to sign Reese and Lance McCullers Jr. McCullers getting a reported $2.5 million. So that was really their strategy going in, and it seems to have worked. JD.
So in a lot of people's minds, they signed 3 first-round draft picks.
Yes.
Reese considered a first-round bat by a lot of scouts.
Exactly. Jed Lowry's 0 for 2 with a walk. And stay tuned, there might be another one tomorrow.
He's a third baseman.
Yeah, and very interesting guy. Reading the story about him, unable to play much. He missed most of his senior year at Bishop Amat High School in La Puente, California. He had a procedure in March to remove a blood clot, but then he was cleared by doctors on Thursday to resume baseball activities. And he's about to go out and start playing. Gulf Coast League. Off the mitt of Guzman, and that gives the Astros a chance to get Bixler over to second base. On the high throw from Boxberger, Bixler gets a chance to go to second. It's an error on Boxberger.
Put a lot on that throw, and Guzman a little late to react to it.
Sure was.
Well, maybe Guzman was guessing changeup. Got crossed up.
There would be reason to guess changeup. You're right. Lowry ropes one to the right field corner, and the Astros are going to grab the lead. 6-5. Lowry into second with an RBI double. Jumped all over that pitch and hammered it for his 15th double of the year, and it's 6-5 Houston with Bixler scoring.
The Astros have had all kinds of traffic here this evening. Haven't been able to cash them all in, but another nice night for the Bats. After scoring 15 runs combined in the previous 2 games, they've got 6 already here tonight. And number 7's out there in scoring position for Carlos Lee.
Bixler scores after the error. And he has scored 3 runs in this game as the leadoff man. Lowry with 15 doubles. Aboard for Lee. Carlos with a homer in 3 trips. 9 hits for Houston. There's a fastball in for strike 1. Base paths have been busier than Hempstead Highway tonight, JD.
Is that your highway?
No, it used to be.
It's so crowded nobody goes there anymore.
Exactly.
Yogi?
Yeah. No balls, 2 strikes. Bogusevic's on deck. It's 1-2. Rio Reese has been compared to Eric Chavez. Left-handed hitting, right-handed throwing third baseman. And Rio took BP with the Astros tonight at Minute Maid. Change-up tap foul. So it's a big cut by Carlos. And you can see now why he hasn't struck out very much. He's still kept his swing under control enough to foul it. That was a wicked changeup.
Yeah, he stays in the zone. You see how that swing path stays in the zone a good long while.
He's been the toughest to strike out in the majors, and nobody's close to him this year.
Stay away if you're doing him a favor.
2-2 for Boxberger. San Diego and Houston are playing a wild one tonight. We're glad you're joining us. If you have just turned over, it's Bill Brown, Jim DeShays, Greg Lucas, Patty Smith, Kevin Eschenfelder, and a lot of other people working on this game tonight. Lee strikes out. We're only in the 5th, so settle in, order a pizza. That's out number 2.
A lot of contrarian events here tonight. Padres don't score. We were harping on that earlier, and they had a 4-run second. They put 5 runs on the board. Carlos doesn't strike out very often, and he just punches out.
Now Bogusevic, who's 0 for 2 with a walk, scored a run in the 4th inning. Comes around to try to get Lowry home. Fastball right there, strike 1 for Boxberger. Chris Johnson's on deck. Almost got him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Astros head out for Chicago after the Thursday night finale to this homestand. They have a Friday 1:20 start in Chicago. 3-day games there. Bounce it to shortstop. Cabrera for the 3rd out. The Astros snap the tie with a run on 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left. After 5, they lead it 6-5.
And as promised, I am joined by the newest Astro, just signed today. And Rio Reese, I know you've had a whirlwind of a day. Tell us a little bit about what it's been like for you.
You know, it's been a hectic day, but, you know, me and my family, we pulled through together. You know, this is one of the most highlights of my life and one of the most memorable so far. And, you know, it's just an honor being here at this ballpark and being part of this organization, especially at a time like this when they're up and coming.
You know, and you got your whole family here behind you, sister, two sisters, brother, your mom, everybody's here. I know you went out, you met some of the players today, you took some BP. What was that like, putting the Astro uniform on and stepping out there on the field?
It was great, you know, I mean, just being out there and being in the presence of big leaguers and knowing that, you know, I could potentially be in this spot in a couple of years down the road. And, you know, it was also real for me. I never realized that, you know, me being here was going to be you know, an option, and now I'm here, and I'm a Houston Astro.
You know, real for you, you said, and to possibly be here in a couple of years, and I have to kind of laugh a little bit because Chris Johnson was just down here on deck warming up. He turned around, looked up and smiled and looked at Rio and said, "What, are you trying to take my job?" And you look scared to death.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's his job right now. I mean, I'm 18 years old, you know, the job is his for now. But, you know, now it's just my time to go out there and, you know, prove all these guys right and give them you know, have them be smart and, you know that they made a right decision in choosing me.
You know, in talking to Jeff Luno and some of the guys down there today, they said you really have the sweetest swing they've ever seen. And I asked you about it, and you said that you model yourself after a particular player, and who would that be?
Eric Chavez. You know, me and him have a lot of similarities. I've been told by, you know, my high school coach that recruited him, and he said there's a lot of similarities between the both of us. We're both Hispanic, both left-handed swing, and both play third base in the corner in the hot spot. So, I mean, there's similarities there, and, you know, who wouldn't want to follow his career? He's had a great career so far.
You know, and I know you were one of your lifelong dreams also was to go to USC. You're a Southern California guy. You always want to do that. I think committed or you know, looked at it since you were 14 years old. How difficult of a decision was that for you to give up on that and just to move forward?
I mean, it was tough. I mean, we're all diehard Trojan fans, and that's all we wanted to be, you know, Trojan fans. My mom and dad wanted to be there when I played my first game in a Trojan uniform, but, you know, now they're going to be able to be there when I make my debut here in Houston and down the road.
All right. Well, welcome. We enjoyed having you here and get to know you today, and we look forward to seeing you up here real soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Patty. That's 7 in a row. Retired now by Wandy Rodriguez. You see the USC score. That's South Carolina, though, against Arizona, a different USC. And it's 1-1 with Brad Brock and Dale Thayer warming up for the Padres. Cabrera had the bunt RBI single, scored a run. He's 1 for 2. And it's strike one. Hundley on deck. Miami leads St. Louis 6-2. They're in the bottom of the 8th at Miami. Strike makes it 0-2 to Cabrera. Velasco and Westbrook were the starters. They've both been gone for a while now. Those two opened the season. That was the first game ever at Marlins Park, April 4th. And the Cardinals won that one 4-1. They've beaten Miami 6 times in a row going back to last year. Carlos Beltran hit his 20th homer yesterday for St. Louis. He's now hit 20 homers or more for 4 different teams during his career. He went, and Wandy strikes out Cabrera, and that makes it 8 straight outs for him. It's 6-5, Houston in the 6th.
is always better with a group. Groups of 20 or more receive great discounted rates. Fundraising options are available, and ticket and food packages start at only $10 a person. Get your group together and visit Astros.com. And guys, I'm sitting out here with a group. I know you can't see me because I didn't tell you where I was, but I've got a group of people here that came a very long way to watch the Astros game. Tell us where you came from and why you're here.
Why I'm here? Oh, these are great friends that we've known for many, many, many years. And we began a relationship about 15 years ago. And they're from Bangkok, Thailand. And we get to see them once a year. And for 15 years, we have gone to dinner at the same restaurant and come to an Astros game. It's our tradition. We only get to see them one time a year for a day, and this is it.
How's that for a fan? I already did my fan of the game, but all the way from Bangkok, Bill.
It's interesting when we can't see you to guess what he looks like and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, that was one I just threw out there. I was walking back up, and this guy flagged me down. I had to do my promo, so I just thought I'd share that little
Different
story.
technique. Yeah, we like it.
That was an Alan Alda movie.
Sometimes
Same time next year.
Yeah, sometimes my stories are better when you can't see me.
That's, use the imagination.
There you
That's what
go.
it's all about. Chris Johnson takes it. It's ball 2. It's 2-1 to CJ. He's walked. He has an RBI single. He's stolen a base. And the Astros lead 6-5. They've out-hit the Padres 9-8. Each club has an error. Good changeup. Makes it 2-2 for Boxberger.
Yeah, Boxberger. A lot of guys don't like to throw their changeup to same-sided hitters. Right-handed pitchers to right-handed hitters, lefties to lefties. But Boxberger doesn't matter. He just throws it towards the heart of the plate and lets it dive down below the knees. And he's got that kind of hovering fastball, kind of that low arm angle. The ball kind of rides. Even when it's down, it has that riding effect.
Yes. Doesn't drop as fast, does it, as some of the others. Here we have it. The delivery.
A little bit of a crossfire delivery. He doesn't really sink the ball. And there's the changeup. The changeup has sinking action, but his fastball stays pretty true. A little rider.
2 balls, 2 strikes. They've been in a rain delay in Boston with Toronto leading the Red Sox 9-5. They're in the middle of the 7th inning. Grounded into left field. CJ stayed back very well on that one. That's his second hit of the night. He's in a nice groove right now. Time for a look at our Brown Hand Center. Great hands of the game, showing you the hands of Jason Castro on a throw to second. Pitch was inside. He got it to Bixler, who tagged out Huntley.
Huntley just slides straight to the bag. He's probably safe. He tried to take evasive action, figuring the throw was going to beat him. He throws a little bit on the shortstop side. With all his fancy footwork and trying to slide by the base and then reach back and tag it, that cost him. He would have been safe otherwise.
True. Castro has a double and a walk. There's ball 1 to Jason. Toronto got home run number 10 from Aaron Sebia, number 14 from Colby Rasmus, 24 from Bautista. Ortiz hit his 19th for Boston. There's the stab by the catcher, Huntley. Now Boston now with Clay Buchholz going on the disabled list has had 19 different players on the DL. Good stab by Hundley there.
Yeah. Normally don't talk about catchers having good range, but that was pretty good range there by Hundley.
J.D. Martinez on deck. Strike makes it 2-1.
A situation here where Castro would love to take a shot at that hole on the right side, but with that good changeup of Boxberger, that could be a losing proposition. If you're trying to get out in front and pull it, and he throws you that changeup, you're going to be way out in front. Fox Tracks brought to you by ChooseNissan.com.
Good play there by Hundley.
Boxberger trying to stay out of the zone here, trying to get Castro to chase that changeup.
Three balls and a strike to Castro. Southern Cal against Stanford. Ball 4. That's 3 walks for Boxberger and 7 for Padres pitchers.
Buddy Black's going to make a double switch here.
Melky Cabrera has 102 hits. He leads the majors. Matt Holliday's gone 17 for 31. Joey Votto's hitting .566 when ahead in the count. Marlon Byrd is definitely not hot. He was released by the Red Sox. Now he's been banned for 50 games. Failed a steroid test. Carlos Zambrano 0-2 with a 13.5 ERA his last 3 starts. Double switch right here. And the Astros lead it with 2 on and nobody out in the bottom of the 6th inning. 6-5 Houston. Back in a moment. Off the first inning with a home run off Ollendorf. And then Carlos Lee ripped a 3-0 pitch for the second home run of the inning. 2-0 Astros after 1. They were able to get an RBI single from Martinez in the second inning for their 3rd run after the Padres got 4 in the top half of the inning. And then Chris Johnson plated a run in the 4th inning as they got their 5th run home. There's the go-ahead provided by Lowry with his double in the 5th. 6-5 Houston. And now the Astros are churning for more here. They have 10 hits. Andy Perino comes in the game to play shortstop in a double switch. He's batting 9th. Cabrera out of the game, out of the number 7 spot. It's Brad Brock. He's 0-1.
Brad Brock has walked a lot of guys. 21 walks in 25 2/3 innings. He's also struck out 30. Fastball slider and a split finger pitch that he relies heavily on.
Fastball good for strike 1. JD has been on all 3 times. He has 2 runs batted in.
He's also allowed 5 home runs in 25 innings of work. So the command obviously has been a problem. 5 home runs in 25 innings and 21 walks. Strikeouts let you know he's got swing and miss stuff.
1 ball, 1 strike. Brock has done well with leaving inherited runners on base. He's stranded 19 of 21 he's inherited. Came up from AAA Tucson on May 4th. Pull foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes to JD Martinez. A second round pick at 08. Padres listed at 6'6".
Had a cup of coffee with them last year. Appeared in 9 ball games.
He had 23 saves at AA San Antonio and 11 more AAA Tucson last year in their organization. Native of New Jersey. Broken bat. Back to Brock. He'll go to second for 1 and then on to first. A double play. Turned by Forsythe. 1-4-3. With Johnson taking 3rd.
Huge double play there started by Brock. He makes the pitch, breaks JD's bat, and then turns a double play. You talk about adding injury to insult. Take the man's weapon and then double him up. Nice play. Time to see a pitcher, especially a guy fresh into a game, just make a bad throw in that situation, but he did everything just right.
Intentional walk ordered for Schaefer here with Wandy Rodriguez on deck. And Padres reasonably certain Wandy's going to stay in this game at this point. Nobody throwing currently in the bullpen. There's somebody up out there. He may have been throwing, but he's not. Yeah, he is now.
I think he would have gotten somebody up to at least give Buddy Black something to contemplate, because I guess it just is a matter of how much more they think they're going to get out of Wandy. If you think you're only going to get one more inning out of him, it might be worthwhile to pinch hit for him here.
Yeah. Fernando Rodriguez is up. Doug Brocail watching as Wandy comes toward the plate. He's staying in with his 6-5 lead. Now Hundley giving signs to the infielders with the speedy Schaefer at first and Johnson at third.
Well, I think you just take second base here.
Yep.
Pitcher hitting, they're not going to throw through. And if they do, you might steal a cheap run if they make an errant throw. If I was Meach, I'd be telling Schaefer, hey, go.
Telling him something right now. After strike one. Bixler's on deck. He's going. Foul back though.
See, now there are times where you wouldn't want to go here because you'd be fearful. Well, if they do throw through and they throw him out, then you've got Wandy leading off the next inning. But at that point, you're probably going to hit for Wandy anyway. He'd be through 7 innings.
Good point. And he's thrown out 19 to lead the majors. That's 27% of the attempts. There have been 71 attempts. It's Detroit 8, Texas nothing in the 6th. Foul back. Rick Porcello shutting out the hard-hitting Rangers. Justin Grimm started for them, and he didn't make it to the second inning. 1 inning, 8 hits, 6 earned runs. Justin Grimm, who made his debut against the Astros and did very well.
Fairy tale is over.
Miguel Cabrera is 3 for 4 with 3 runs batted in for the Tigers tonight. He feasts on Rangers pitching. 370 lifetime. Rolled over foul. The highest by an active player against the Rangers. And he has also driven in 47 runs in 46 games against Texas prior to tonight and has 3 more tonight. No balls, 2 strikes to Wandy. Cabrera, by the way, has 59 runs batted in this season now. Closing in on Josh Hamilton. Schaefer goes, and the pitch is inside. No play is made on him, and he strolls into second base. Stolen base for Schaefer, number 18. Three steals for the Astros tonight. They pulled a double steal back in the 4th inning. That was their 5th double steal of the year. Wandy shoots one on the ground. There's Perino just in the game, throwing him out. It's no runs a hit, 2 men stranded after 6. 6-5 Houston.
Fuel efficient, affordable, stylish, and safe, it's probably a Hyundai. By AT&T, rethink possible. And by Coushatta Casino, the largest, most exciting casino resort in Louisiana. There's a news note tonight. Bob Nightingale, respected reporter, says that the Padres sale may be very close, and it may go for $800 million to the group headed by Peter O'Malley, formerly of the Dodgers, and Ron Fowler.
Interesting. Thank you, Greg. These fans watching a 6-5 ball game. A lot of interest in what's happening on the field, and Padre TV broadcasters are getting into this game as well. They've been dancing up in the booth. There is Mark Grant, former Astro pitcher, on the left. And Chuck Poole on the far right doing stats.
Andy Mazer there in the lavender shirt. He's play-by-play.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Nice job, Mike.
I'm not sure who that is wielding the microphone.
His name is Mike something. There's Chuck Poole. And the Chuck Poole collection, sometimes made available to us for use on the air, such as the JD cooking tips that we ran a few days ago. Chili dogs.
For Chili Day.
By JD and Lori. There's a copyright on those. The paid attendance, 14,483 tonight. We go to the 7th inning. Wandy Rodriguez gets a foul ball from Hundley. Hundley is 2 for 2 with 2 runs batted in. Curveballs, tap foul. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitching line on Brad Boxberger is 1 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, no earned runs, 3 walks, 1 strikeout.
Yeah, he's a guy worth keeping an eye on. I kind of like his game. That changeup's a dandy, and he certainly has enough fastball.
It's 1-2 to Hundley.
Reminded me a little bit of Kirk Saarloos when he came up with the Astros, only with a better heater. Kirk had that great changeup, but didn't really throw that hard.
He was fun.
Yeah, I thought he'd end up having a better big league career than he did.
Struck him out.
Got here in a hurry.
Yeah, Cal State Fullerton. That's strikeout number 5 for Wandy, and now it's Andy Perino.
Pride of Lemoyne College.
You knew about him.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's a it's a small fraternity of former Dolphins that reached the big league. So.
Hey, you guys mentioned Kirk Saarloos. He was just named the pitching coach at TCU.
Really?
Yeah, about a week ago.
Good for him. Good guy.
Those guys will all have good command and very good changeups.
Andy Perino, 176, 1 homer, 3 runs batted in. Takes a curveball ball 1. Born in Brockport, New York. Where's that, JD?
That's Western New York.
All right.
Rochester, Buffalo, and that part of the world.
Okay, Lemoyne College Dolphins. JD, former Padre, playing for Lemoyne College. Tom Browning. Who else?
Perino's only the 2nd position player from Lemoyne to make it to the big leagues.
Okay.
And most of the guys just a little bit of time. The former Padre pitcher Scott Cassidy, who's now the head coach at Lemoyne.
Oh.
Pitcher by the name of Pete Hoy.
Pete Hoy.
Pete Hoy was with the Red Sox a little bit.
Okay.
Matt Stevens, I think, pitched a little bit in the big leagues.
Okay.
And there was a big right-hander by the name of John Ratliff, who was actually a first-round pick, and I don't know if John ever got to the big leagues or not.
Andy Perino was a 26th round pick in 07. What round were you drafted, JD?
I was a 21st round pick.
Oh. You got a much higher bonus than he did then. Curveball struck him out. That's number 6 for Wandy.
Very conflicted with my fellow Dolphin up there swinging.
Yes.
I guess I got to yield to my fellow left-hander, though, in the Astro colors.
Wandy is shooting for win number 7, which would be the club lead if he gets it tonight. And that's going to be it for Wandy. He's had 93 pitches, 66 have been strikes, but he had that big 2nd inning trouble spot when he gave up 4. And so he had to throw those pitches under stress, and then a couple more hits in the 3rd. But he's been rolling. He's retired 10 in a row now, and as he comes out, he's in a position to be a winning pitcher. It is 6-5 Houston. The crowd appreciates his being able to get squared away tonight, JD.
Yeah, he did a nice job turning things around, and now he's in a position to pick up a W.
Fernando Rodriguez coming in. Back in a moment. Was able to hang in after giving up 4 in the second inning and falling behind 4-2. Gave up 5 runs in his first 51 pitches on 8 hits in 3 innings. Since then, no runs on 1 hit in the last 43 pitches.
He's had a number of starts like that this year where he's a little wobbly early on, and then he kind of hits his stride and takes care of business and puts his club in a position to win. Murphy in there, a right-handed hitter who's been a lot better against lefties this year, and that's why Brad Mills has made this move to Efrod. He's 1-7, high ERA.
First pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Denorfia had an RBI single off Wandy in the second inning, going 1 for 3. .259 against right-handers, with both of his home runs, oddly, against the righties. That's ball 2. Wandy threw 94 pitches, 66 were strikes in his 6 2/3 innings, allowing the Padres 8 hits, 5 runs with no walks, 6 strikeouts. And he's qualified for win number 7 of the year. That's in for a strike. That makes it 2-1 for Fernando Rodriguez.
Denorfia appeared to be taking all the way there, and that's a little bit surprising. He's been swinging a hot bat. He's up there 2 balls, no strikes. There's 2 outs in the inning. A good time to take a big swing and try to get an extra base hit.
He looks at ball 3 up. 3-1. Former Padre Matt Latos set a new career high tonight with 13 strikeouts. He went the distance for Cincinnati and a home win over Milwaukee, 3-1. Only 4 hits off Latos. 3-2 now. Latos was coming off a 7-run pounding by the Indians last week. That was his first complete game since May 2010 for the Padres. And he also got 2 hits. Foul back.
It's not Rick Wise. We talked about that a couple of days ago on the 23rd. He pitched a no-hitter and hit 2 home runs in the same game years ago. Still not bad by Latos. Reds now have a 2-game lead over the Pirates. Pirates got beat by Philadelphia tonight, 8-3.
Jay Bruce drove in 2 tonight for the Reds. He had a career slugging percentage against Milwaukee of .665 coming into that game. Grounded to shortstop. Lowry takes care of the third out in the Padres 7th with the Astros leading it 6-5.
Astro fans, Chevy is proud to present a new show called Chevy Hometown Kids. It's not about the score, it's about the experience. So tune in each Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on Fox Sports Houston or visit hometownkids.tv for more information. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. Fans enjoying the 7th inning stretch right here. A lot of scoring early in this ball game. Astros got 2 in the first and 1 in the second. Padres got 4 in the second inning. They led at 4-2 and 5-3, but the Astros now have the upper hand 6-5. Batting in the last of the 7th with Brian Bixler taking ball 1 there. He's been on 3 times and scored 3 times. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Brian has his average up to 310 now. He's only had 42 at bats at the big league level. Had good numbers down in AAA. Piecing together a nice year for himself.
2-1. Brad Brock on the mound.
There's so much pressure on these guys too. They get called up, get a chance to perform. There's people on the DL. They're getting ready to come off the DL, so you know decisions are going to be made as to who goes back down. You really have to fight the tendency when you get an opportunity to play to try to do too much. Start chasing bad balls, trying to be a hero.
3-2 from Brad Brock, who's the all-time wins and strikeout leader at Monmouth University.
Paul Mirabella, I believe, pitched at Monmouth University.
He had a long career. Strike 3. Bixler thought ball 4. That's out number 1.
I think it might have been a little in.
I thought so. This is not a strike, is it?
Take a look. No. It's on the Fox tracks. He's caught the corner.
Ron Culpa.
It's perfect tonight.
Mea culpa is ours. And it's out number 1.
We've taken umbrage with a couple of his calls, and both times he's been proven right.
Jed Lowry had the RBI double in the 5th. He's 1 for 3. Strike to Lowry. Robinson Cano and Nick Swisher went deep. The Yankees won their 3rd in a row. 7-1 over the Indians.
Backdoor slider. And now good riding heater for strike 2. The slider just off the edge, but Culpa gave him the call there. Not a horrible pitch.
Yankees are 23-7 since May 22nd, the best of any team in the majors. They've beaten the Indians in the season series every year since '09.
So 48% of Jed Lowry's hits have come with 2 strikes.
1-2.
So that leads me to believe if you get 2 strikes on him, you probably should attack him.
Sounds like it. Lowry rips one. It'll go foul. Still 1-2.
Happy birthday, Aramis Ramirez. He's 34 today.
He signed what, a 3-year deal in the offseason?
I believe he did.
Milwaukee, no.
And after a slow start, he's put up pretty good numbers.
Yeah.
It's always the case with him.
Looped and caught by Perino.
How about a little adjustment mid-flight? I mean, he broke on it, then he hesitated to read it, and then started again and ultimately made a tremendous play. That's how they teach it on the heights, Browning.
Former Dolphin twisting out of the water to grab this one.
Give that man a fish.
Oh, that is spectacular stuff.
Pretty play.
That is a gorgeous catch. Carlos Lee whacks one to left. Quentin has it. It's a 1-2-3 7 for Brock. Gorgeous catch by Perino for the second out. 6-5 Astros.
In the Fall Classic. The road to the World Series begins with the 2012 MLB All-Star Game Tuesday, July 10th at 6:30 p.m. Central on Fox. Bill?
It should be a special night. Anticipating the selection of those teams. There are a lot of players having really outstanding years. There's one of them. Jed Lowry. Hopefully he'll be there in Kansas City. Jose Altuve. We'll see. Still time to vote. It's a 1-run lead here. The Astros lead at 6-5. Going to the 8th inning. Very strange game, but what it boils down to is a 1-run lead in the 8th inning. Cameron Maybin, the number 2 hitter to lead off, then Headley, then Quentin against Fernando Rodriguez. Dale Thayer's warming up for the Padres, and it's Wesley Wright for the Astros. Efrod came in to get Denorfia on a ground out for the final out in the 7th. Maybin's 0 for 3. That's ball 1. Wesley Wright getting loose. Cardinals have put up a 4 spot in the top of the 9th inning to tie Miami 6-6. They're now in the bottom of the 9th in Miami. Inside, that's 2-0. Yadier Molina hit a big 2-run homer off Heath Bell with 2 outs in the 9th. That was his 11th of the year.
Boy. Bet you Heath Bell throws his glove into the stands on that one.
Strike, and it's 2-1. Yeah, the Fish are 34 and 38. They lost 8 of their last 10. They have had a horrendous month of June. Cincinnati has won. St. Louis trying to keep pace and stay 2 games behind the front-running Reds in the NL Central. Foul right back up here. Oh, JD almost got it. Everybody all right there? MC almost caught it.
I think it clicked MC in their headset.
Whoa. Mary Carol Hazel is throwing that one down to a young fan. Did that draw some flesh over there? She gets some.
I don't know. She seems to be nonchalant about it.
Moving around. That's a good sign.
Shoulder. Got a little shoulder.
Shoulder.
Medic. We get a medic up here.
We need treatment immediately.
Medic.
Yes. We'll get Mark Grant over here. Get him on it. We'll take care of it. We get very few foul balls up here. It's such a narrow opening. That's ball 4, and Maben can run. He's on.
Yeah, Maben not doing much with the bat at all this year, so he's a guy you want to get after. Leadoff walk in the 8th in a 1-run ball game.
Headley is hitting well as a right-handed batter. And just thinking about a stolen base because Fernando is more susceptible to a steal now with Maben on first. But then you've got Quentin, a strong right-handed hitter, due up after. Headley's 0 for 3 in this game. Maben 15 for 18 in stolen bases. Here's strike 1.
Taking a pitch there to give Maben a chance to steal that base, but it cost him. Now he's down in the count.
Josh Hamilton has hit his 23rd home run for Texas, but Detroit leads the Rangers 8-2 in the bottom of the 8th. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ike Davis hit his 9th tonight for the Mets, but they trail the Cubs 6-1 in Chicago, top of the 9th inning. Maben's going, and it bounces by Castro. Maben's in head first at second base with an easy steal. It counts 2-1.
Breaking ball in the dirt, and with Maben going, even if Jason's able to knock that one down right in front of him, there's no way they're going to throw out Maben. So his 16th stolen base, and now the tying run is in scoring position.
2 balls and a strike. That's 63 stolen bases for the Padres. They're second in the National League. Lowry standing right behind Maben, trying to cut into his lead a little bit. It's fouled away, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Headley. Rockies got 2 in the home 6th inning. They lead Washington 3-2 in the bottom of the 7th now. Strasburg has left the game after 6 innings. Jeff Francis started. He went 5 for the Rockies. Came out after 66 pitches. Now time call. Lowry's been doing what he can with Maben's lead there at second base, trying to shorten him up a bit, and then he backpedals to his position.
You certainly don't want to compromise your position here if you're Jed to tighten up Maben with nobody out.
Now it's 3-2.
But he's playing over that way anyway on Headley from the left side. I just don't think there's, it's not a real stealing situation for Maidman with nobody out in the inning and a left-handed batter up there. That'd be a high-risk steal to try to steal third here. So certainly it's worth it to keep an eye on him and make sure he stops, doesn't get too big of a lead. But again, you don't want to compromise your positioning defensively by focusing too much on him.
Hadley's hitting .247 with runners in scoring position. He struck him out. That's big for the Astros. Keep that runner at second. Out number 1. Now it's Quentin coming up. Strikeout number 7.
Hadley, who's been their main guy in the lineup this year, 0 for 4 tonight. A couple of punch outs, a couple of ground balls to short.
Quentin lined that single off the glove of Bixler, who went high in the 3rd inning and then came around to score. He's 1 for 3. Quentin was a first-round choice of Arizona in 2003. Pop up on the right side. Carlos calling. 2 out. That is equally big for Fernando Rodriguez. Now Guzman. Jesus, 26 years old, from Venezuela. He's 1 for 3 in this game. Single to start the 4-run second inning with 1 out for the Padres. But Wandy was able to choke them off after they got that 3rd inning run. The Astros have stranded 12. The Padres have left 2. Hiroki Kuroda won for the Yankees, 7-1 over Cleveland. He's 7-7. He beat Josh Tomlin. Curve, strike 1. Joe Blanton won for the Phillies, 8-3 over Pittsburgh and Jeff Karstens. Kansas City got a shutout from Luke Hochevar. An 8-0 win over Tampa Bay. Beat Alex Cobb. Foul back, 0-2. Hochevar had great results when he was here. Now he's followed that up with another outstanding game.
Well, when we talked about Hochevar, and we figured his numbers had to turn around a little bit. When you looked at the batting average again, his strikeout rate, his walk rate, there are a lot of things to indicate that his ERA would come down if he continued to pitch at that level.
Curve is down, and it's 1-2 to Guzman with Forsythe on deck. Travis Wood and the Cubs knocked off the Mets 6-1, beating Johan Santana. With Milwaukee losing at Cincinnati 3-1, Giovanni Gallardo dropped that one to Matt Latos. The Brewers now 33-40. The Astros could pull to 2 games behind them for 4th place if they win this one. Fernando Rodriguez, a big factor right now in relief of Wandy Rodriguez. High, but he didn't go, and it's 2-2 to Guzman. Giants got 4 in the bottom of the 1st against the Dodgers. It's now 4-0 San Francisco, bottom of the 2nd inning against Nate Eovaldi. Barry Zito was handed the early lead. Curve hit in the air to left field. J.D. Martinez looking up, and that one reaches the seats for a 2-run go-ahead homer for the Padres. Guzman connecting for the 2nd time, and the Padres are up by 1. 7-6. It didn't sound like a well-hit ball, but it made it to the Landry's Crawford boxes.
Crawford box giveth, and the Crawford box taketh away, and this time they come back to bite the Astros. Guzman, we talked about him earlier, pretty strong young kid, reached out and reached down and got a curveball and got just enough of it to lift it out of here. Not a horrible pitch. It drifted back into the swing a little bit of Guzman. Probably the bigger error in this inning, the leadoff walk, than that pitch there.
0-1 to Forsythe. Now Luke Gregerson's warming up for the Padres. Forsythe is 2 for 3 with an RBI. That's 7 runs on 9 hits for San Diego now. Fastball is a strike. That evens it at 1-1. Pitcher spot due up next. Mark Kotze is on deck. Left-hander to pinch hit if it goes that far. Bogusevic, Johnson, and Castro due up in the Astro 8th. Foul back for a 1-2 count. So Wandy Rodriguez now cannot be the winner for the 7th time this year. There's Kotze. But the Astros still have their 4, 5, 6 hitters due up. Gregerson apparently will be the man. Houston Street, their closer, is 10 for 10 in saves. Curveball, a strikeout to end it, but the Padres get a walk and a 2-run homer in the top of the 8th. They grab the lead 7-6. The 8th inning coming here. Padres 7, Astros 6. And now Brad Brock in a position to be the winning pitcher after 2 innings of hitless baseball. And he walked 1 and fanned 1. It's Luke Gregerson with a 1-0 record, 10 holds and a 3.62 ERA, taking over with the 1-run lead.
Gregerson's been a big part of this Padre bullpen for the last couple of years now. He's kind of a slider monster. He throws a lot of sliders.
He'll face lefty hitting Brian Bogusevic, then Johnson, then lefty hitting Castro up here in the 8th inning. Bogey 0 for 3 with a walk. He has scored a run. Pitcher due to lead off the Padre 9th, then Hundley, then Perino. And that's strike 1.
He's a modern day Larry Anderson, this guy.
Yeah, he is. Left-handed hitters, though, have done much better against Gregerson. 283 compared to 219 for right-handed batters. He leads the team with those 10 holds you saw. That's a swing and a miss for strike 2. Last year he had 16 holds. He had a strained oblique which forced him onto the disabled list, but he pitched 61 times. In 2010, Gregerson had 40 holds to set a major league record. He appeared in 80 games that year. 1-2. A hold would be a situation like this, coming in with a lead which would normally be a save situation and holding on to that lead, but not saving the game. Stat for a setup man. He strikes out Bogusevic.
That bullpen was very deep. He and Mike Adams setting up Heath Bell after the Trevor Hoffman era passed. And Gregerson this time able to get a left-handed hitter, working that slider down out of the strike zone.
1 out, and it's Chris Johnson. He's been a tough out tonight with a walk and 2 singles. He had an RBI. He stole a base. Jason Castro on deck. Strike for Gregerson. Gregerson, a 28th round pick of the Cardinals in 06. Went to the Padres in a trade before the 09 season. He's from Park Ridge, Illinois. Batting average against him has been very low for his career. Brett Myers and Wesley Wright are tuning up in the Astro bullpen. So it would be Myers in the 9th if they grab the lead, or maybe in a tie game. Otherwise Wright, presumably. 2 balls and a strike.
It was a Khalil Green deal. Green, the shortstop, going from San Diego to St. Louis. That brought Gregerson west.
He has served the Padres so well. Tons of appearances. In 09, he pitched 72 times, then 80, then 61. Strike, and that makes it 2-2 to CJ. Gregerson threw a scoreless inning yesterday in the 2-0 Padre win against Seattle. He gets another strikeout. That's 2 in a row for him. Bud Black said it felt different handing the ball to his relievers yesterday. The loss of their bullpen coach earlier in the day. Now Castro. Castro has a double and 2 walks in 4 trips. JD Martinez is on deck. That's ball 1.
Gregerson with a couple of punch outs here, but he gets his fair share of ground balls with that sinking fastball, and he has really the ability to command his slider and do different things with it. He'll make it a little bigger, or he'll tighten it up and just try to have it hover in the strike zone. Throws it to both sides of the plate. Way to go, little man.
Yeah. Let's get out of here with that trophy while we can. It's a nice baseball sweater that lady had on with the seams on it. Two balls and a strike. And the Padres relievers carried the jersey number 48 of Darryl Ackerfels, their bullpen coach, out to the pen yesterday in San Diego. Don't see too many of those, JD, with the stitching.
No, you do not.
Very fashionable. 3 balls and a strike. Castro had a good swing and one in the second inning. He bounced one over into the Astros bullpen on one hop and came around to score. He's had good looks at the pitches tonight, drawn a couple of walks. Now he's at 3-1. Plenty of room up the middle for Castro, the way the defenders are aligned. He hits one high to right field. This could tie it. Castro has hit it out. Home run, Castro. It's 7-7. Number 2 of the season for Jason Castro to tie it. What a big swing.
What a big night for Jason Castro. Leadoff double in the second, scored the Astros' third run, a couple of walks, and now a game-tying home run off a tough reliever here in the bottom half of the 8th. Ferguson allowed just 2 home runs all of last year. This is the 5th one he's given up this season. Dangerous spot against a lefty. You go inner half and down, you're asking for trouble.
Majestic flight of that one to tie it. There's a check swing foul by Martinez.
Astros offense from the catching position significantly improved over last year. Still below average in the league, but last year they were dead last.
Chris Snyder's hit 3. Castro a couple of home runs now.
Yeah, I think that ties the output for catcher's home runs all of last season.
That sounds about right. 1-1. That changes the complexion of this one very quickly with the Astros' 3rd long ball of the ninth. They've all been solo shots. They got 2 in the first inning. Bixler and Lee delivered. Pop up. Infielders converging. Second sacker in. Forsythe has it. And in the 8th inning, the Castro homer ties the game. 7-7 into the 9th.
Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Well, the Astros have battled back to tie. Myers is on to pitch the 9th. At the bottom of the San Diego order. You might want to settle back, guys. It may be a long night yet.
We started that theme early. It's 7-7 now as the 9th inning begins. Brett Myers on the mound. The pinch hitter will be Alexei Amarista. Myers comes in with the tie game. He's 16 for 17 in saves. He's 0-2 with a 3.86 ERA. Brett worked Sunday in the 7-1 win over Cleveland with 1 hitless inning yesterday. To wrap it up, he had not pitched since the previous Monday when he gave up 8 hits and 5 runs in 2/3 of an inning in a 9-7 win. Amarista, speedy little guy, formerly with the Angels, takes a strike.
He's Altuve-like.
Sure is. Amarista, a .227 hitter with 66 at bats. Has 4 runs batted in. He's 0 for 4 pinch inning. Curveball comes in for a strike to him. 0-2 to Amarista. Over his last 9 games, he's 8 for 21. Bouncer up the middle, and this is Bixler throwing on the run. 1 out. Well played.
Bixler having himself a fine ball game. Big day at the plate. Nice play here, ranging to his right, blowing the bubble.
He did that last night.
Get the bubble working and throws a strike.
Takes some timing. Blow that bubble right when you're making a good play. Nick Hundley, the batter. He is 2 for 3. Drove in 2 with a double in the second inning. Strike to Hundley. The Astros have Schaefer, the pitcher spot, and Bixler due up in the last of the ninth. Fernando Rodriguez in 1 1/3 innings allowed 1 hit, 2 runs, walking 1, fanning 2. Dale Thayer's warming up for the Padres. It's 1-1. Curveball 1-2 as Hundley takes the big cut. Hundley's from Corvallis, Oregon. He looks at ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Not related to Randy Hundley. He went to the University of Arizona. His dad played football at Western Oregon. Was an assistant coach at UCLA. And that's a strikeout for out number 2. Strikeout number 9 for Astros pitchers.
Feeble swings at the Myers breaking ball in that sequence.
Now pinch hitting for Perino. It's Mark Kotsay. Kotsay was 3 for 3 yesterday as the starting first baseman against Seattle. 267 as a pinch hitter, 4 for 15. There's strike 1 to him. Kotsay's had 61 at bats with good numbers, 295. And 4 for 11 against Myers.
What Black really likes what Kotsay brings to this club, a solid veteran, really knows how to play the game. A good mentor for the young players.
Well, that's important on a young club. Kotsay's 36. Cal State Fullerton. Chops this one foul. Kotsay, a first-round pick of Florida back in '96. Yeah.
She's going on the showcase.
Kotsay played for Milwaukee last year. That's ball 2, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. This is his second tour of duty with the Padres. He was with them from '01 through '03. He's a 276 lifetime hitter in the big leagues. Lines one into right center field.
A 3-hit day yesterday, giving an opportunity to start. Myers one more time to the breaking ball. This time it stays up a little bit. Didn't quite have the finish as the ones he threw to Hundley, and Kotsay made him pay for it. Now they're going to run for Kotsay. Marquis, the pitcher, a very good athlete.
Kotsay has a smile on his face as he leaves for the pinch runner, a pitcher Marquis. Now Will Venable comes up to pinch hit for Denorfia. Denorfia was 1 for 4 and drove in a run. Venable, a 260 hitter with 5 homers, has driven in 19. He's had 215 at bats. He is 0 for 10 as a pinch hitter. Rolled out to shortstop. Lowry gets Venable to end the top of the ninth. No runs ahead. A runner stranded. It's 7-7. Bottom of the ninth ahead.
Kansas City. Don't miss your chance to help send Jose Altuve and Jed Lowry to this year's All-Star game by voting up to 25 times at Astros.com/vote. Cast your ballot now for your 2012 All-Stars. Vote early and vote often. Vote today at Astros.com/vote. The All-Star game is July 10th on Fox. Bill.
Thanks, Patty. We have changes for Bud Black's Padres. Will Venable is the right fielder. He pinch hit for Chris Denorfia. Rounded out to end the top of the ninth inning. It's Alexi Amarista at shortstop after pinch hitting for the pitcher Gregerson, and Dale Thayer is on the mound. He's pitcher number 5. Gregerson in 1 inning allowed 1 hit, 1 run, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Thayer was the closer when Houston Street was hurt. Justin Maxwell on deck as Jordan Schaefer leads it off. There's ball 1. Schaefer has been on 3 times. A single. He was hit by a pitch and he drew an intentional walk. Jose Altuve has a batting helmet on. He's on the bench and he was talking with Brad Mills between the top of the ninth and now, and getting some instructions, so perhaps he could be called upon, maybe in a bunting situation. We'll wait and see if Schaefer reaches.
Fastball slider change for Thayer. Clocked at 95 miles an hour. A little big league time with the Mets last year. Previously appeared in the big leagues with the Rays in 09 and 2010.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
He's back home where he originally signed as a non-drafted free agent with the Padres back in 2002. Quality stash he's got working.
It is quality. Just off the edge, and it's the 3-2 count to Schaefer. Thayer last year was in 11 games for the Mets. Saved 21 games at AAA Buffalo. Foul back. To start the season, Thayer, it was tough to beat what he did, a 10-inning scoreless streak. Got his first save of the year against Colorado May 7th. Street was on the disabled list, and Thayer took over. Now back to his setup role with Street back saving games again for the San Diego club. Up the middle, and Amarista slides, throws. What a tremendous play by Amarista.
Yeah, it's rare that you would see 3 different shortstops in the game, but Cabrera was the starter. We saw Perino come in. He made a sparkling catch in shallow left field, and now Amarista goes up the middle. in spectacular fashion. Maybe a little cheat over there at first base by Guzman, coming off the bag a little bit prematurely, perhaps, to help steal this one.
Maybe so. What a play. Some serious quickness there. Justin Maxwell fouls it back, strike one.
If that's the third shortstop on your depth chart, you're pretty well covered there.
Maxwell has 3 pinch homers this season and 7 runs batted in. 6 for 22 as a pinch hitter for a .273 average. He's been bothered by a bone spur in his ankle. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. And just trying to get some relief from that pain. 4 pinch homers for the Astros this year. And Maxwell has provided some very big work off the bench. Pixler on deck.
Nice little let up there from Thayer. He's allowed 3 home runs so far this year in 19 innings of work. Off-speed breaking ball.
That one almost hit him. 2-2. Maxwell's 3 pinch homers lead the majors right now. He was talking after the game Saturday about how often he's been hurt. Struck him out. 2 outs.
There's command not particularly good with that fastball, but he throws hard enough and had good movement, and he got away with it. Hundley wanted it outside corner, and runs it all the way across the plate. Well, Bixler's had a big night. Why not one more big swing?
That'd be something. Leadoff homer, 4th inning double, 5th inning walk, 3 runs scored. That's strike 1.
He was drafted by the Cubs out of high school in 1999, but then went undrafted out of Chico State in 2002.
It's 1-1. Miami's batting in the bottom of the 10th, trailing St. Louis 8-7. 1 run already home for Miami. Jason Mott in the game for the Cardinals. In the air to right field. Venable waiting. And we will have extra innings from Minute Maid Park. Astros out in order in the 9th inning, and it's 7-7 moving to the 10th.
Jerky all season long. Jack Link's beef jerky, feed your wild side. Well, the Astros don't want any wildness. They want Brandon Lyon, the new pitcher, to have sharp control in this 7-7 game. He's in to pitch. Astros have only used 4, so they're in good shape if this game lasts a long time, heaven forbid. Back to Brownie and JD.
Brandon Lyons 0-1, his ERA 2.57, 28 innings, and you see the ratio of strikeouts to walks as he comes in for the 10th. JD.
He usually makes you beat him. He doesn't walk people. He's a good command of his pitches. Came in yesterday for one batter and retired him with 1 pitch. Astros have not won yet in extra innings this year. You see 0-6, Padres 1-3.
Cameron Maben leads off in the 10th inning. Led off the 8th with a walk. There's Lowry playing his grounder into out number 1 on 1 pitch there for Lyon.
Ball really struck well by Maben, but Lowry able to track it down and plenty of time to throw out Maben because the ball was hit so sharply.
Lowry's due to lead off in the bottom of the 10th. Then Lee and Bogusevic to follow. Brett Myers in 1 inning allowed 1 hit, no runs with no walks, 1 strikeout. Lions pitcher number 4. Headley is 0 for 4. In tight, ball 1. Padre bullpen has 8 wins, 14 losses. The Astros 5-13 out of the bullpen.
You're not going to sneak one by Carlos down the first baseline.
No chance of that. 2-0. It's 3 balls, no strikes. Carlos Quentin's on deck. And swinging away, Headley fouls it.
If you're going to give the hitter the green light in that situation, and his club doesn't hit many home runs, so when they get a triple count and they've got a guy with some decent pop, I think Bud Black is inclined to let him swing. Challenge for the hitter, though. Make sure you get a pitch that you're looking for. That one had pretty good sink. Headley not able to square it up. Two-seamer away here.
Ball 4 to Headley. He's aboard with 1 out for Quentin now. It's only the 2nd walk for Astros pitchers. 1 in the 8th, 1 here, and now Quentin, who's 1 for 4, will follow. Colorado down Washington at Coors Field 4-2. Josh Renicky won that one, beating Steven Strasburg.
Marco Scudero got hit in the head with a pitch from Strasburg tonight.
Ooh. Went in line to single off Bixler's glove earlier. Looks at that one, and it's ball 1.
Headley can run a little bit. He's got 8 stolen bases. He's been caught 4 times.
Foul back. 1 ball, 1 strike.
This is only Carlos Quentin's 2nd at bat off of Brandon Lyon in his career.
He had a 100 RBI season in 08 for the White Sox, with 36 home runs that year. Carlos went to Stanford, the team that lost to Rice in the College World Series in 03. Throw to first base. Headley back.
So I was thinking that perhaps Headley would be on the move, call for a pitch out, nothing doing. I wonder if Carlos Quentin leads all major league hitters in home runs by players whose names start with Q.
I have to think about that. He certainly leads Chad Qualls.
He's got Quintero beat. Tranquility.
Oh, yeah, he leads Frank. Frank didn't hit many.
No.
Jamie Quirk.
No, he got Jamie beat. I think we feel pretty good about that. Jack Quinn was a pitcher. I can't think of any Quinns that were home run hitters.
Well, no, Mark, but he didn't play that often for Rice, the outfielder. We'll have to do a search on that.
Yeah.
We're sticking with it for now, but if it gets to be a 19-inning game, we'll get back to you. Out the way.
Middle of the order has not done much for the Padres tonight. 2-3-4 anyway. Guzman hit the big home run in the 8th.
Runner going on 2-2, and it's ball 3 without a throw. The steal for Headley is 9th of the year. Gets him over to second base on a 3-2 count now.
Didn't have a real big lead. Just picked the right pitch. The breaking ball out away from Castro. He had a little difficulty getting out there to handle it and made no attempt.
Josh Burns, the general manager of the Padres, traded for Quentin when he was the GM of Arizona. He traded Quentin away to the White Sox. Fly ball out to right center field. Bogusevic on the run. Bogusevic can't flag it down. It's off the wall on one bounce, and it'll be 8-7 Padres. A double for Quentin scores Headley. Quentin's 14th run batted in.
And again, the walk in advance of the big swing of the bat. It was a leadoff walk in the 8th inning to Cameron Maben that turned Guzman's blast into a 2-run homer. Now this walk to Headley, stolen base, and Quentin, their most dangerous hitter, drives one to the Astros bullpen.
Hit number 11 for the Padres. A total of 22 hits in this game. Guzman has a couple of those, including a 2-run homer in the 8th inning to turn things around. Gave the Padres the lead. Fly ball, Bogusevic over, and that's out of play for him. Well, the Astros had worked hard after trailing early. They gained the lead, and then after that Castro home run in the 8th inning, tied it. Guzman had connected earlier. So we went to the 10th, and now it's 8-7. Ryan misses. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, this is where you really got to battle mentally, because you came in here. Obviously, your job was to post a 0. You haven't done that, but Astros have 2, 3, 4 coming up in the bottom half of the inning. If you keep it at 1, you got a fighting chance.
Two balls and a strike.
This game really challenges you mentally, right? You're out there in a big situation, and now you just feel like, I just blew the game for us. But you don't know that yet.
No.
You guys might score, so you got to hang in there and get a couple more outs. See what happens. Maybe you have to offer a bribe like Papelbon did the other day. He gave one up. Gave up the lead, came in and offered $5,000 for anybody who hit a walk-off, and Tomey hit a game-winning home run for the Phillies. I hope that check goes to charity. I haven't heard.
Oh, yeah. Probably will. If Tomey even bothers to take it and cash it.
Oh, you got to make him. Yeah, you say, pick your favorite charity and say, write it out, big boy.
Line shot, foul. Guzman out a little in front of that one, just barely foul up the third base line. Yeah, there were some stories written today about that. Of course, folks pursuing the gambling angle, but there's nothing wrong with one teammate making a payment to another in Major League Baseball.
And pitchers used to do it all the time. Pitchers that were struggling or the team hadn't been scoring runs for them in recent starts would kind of put a bounty out. Give me $100 for an RBI today.
Still 2-2. Brandon Lyon got the first out on Maben, then he walked Headley. Headley stole second, scored on the Quentin double.
Big series in San Francisco between the first place Dodgers, second place Giants, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead in the fourth. San Francisco just 3 games behind LA coming into play today.
Pretty remarkable. The Dodgers were so good early, and they lost Matt Kemp a couple of different times. Giants looked like they just were mired in the mud. You know, Lincecum's had such a tough start. And they lost the closer, Brian Wilson. They've had some other injuries, Sandoval, and yet they're only 3 games out. Arizona's 5.5 back starting tonight.
Yeah, they've won 4 in a row.
Find they worked their way over 500 by 2 games.
So those 3 teams, as we get a little bit closer to the trade deadline, that happens at the end of July, those 3 teams will probably be buyers. Colorado and San Diego will not. They'll be looking to move some pieces for prospects. It's one of the challenges for GMs now with the second wild card. There's going to be fewer teams to deal with because there's going to be more teams that think they have a legitimate chance to claim a playoff spot.
Yes. Houston Street warming up there. And in the Astros bullpen, it's Reiner Cruz throwing. He started and checked his swing on appeal to DJ Rayburn. 3-2 now. Guzman was way out there. Very close to a strikeout. Well, it might have been called that by some umpires, but that's a difficult call.
Yeah, it's just a flip a coin kind of thing.
And he did strike him out. 2 outs. Strikeout number 10 for Astros pitchers tonight.
Just late, you see how late that front foot got down.
Forsythe is the batter. He's 2 for 4. He singled in a run in the 3rd inning. Minnesota dropped the White Sox in Minnesota 4-1. Ball 1. Liriano the winner. He's 2-7. He beat Peavy, who's 6-4. Burton got his 2nd save. St. Louis held off Miami 8-7 in the 10th. Victor Marte got that win over Chad Gaudin. Jason Mott with his 15th save. Cardinals got 4 in the 9th to tie it, then 2 in the 10th. 1 ball, 1 strike. It'll be very interesting in the NL Central the way things are shaping up right now with Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, St. Louis. Rick Porcello in Detroit stopped Texas 8-2 in Texas. Surviving Josh Hamilton's 23rd homer. Fly ball out to Schaefer in center. And in the Padre 10th, they come away with 1 run on 1 hit and leave a man. They lead it 8-7. Bottom of the 10th inning, they go with pitcher number 6 for Bud Black. And he is the veteran right-hander, 28 years old. Houston Street, 1-0, 10 for 10 in saves this year.
He's been awfully tough to hit. You see the league batting just 138 against him in his 17 innings of work. He's walked 5, struck out 22.
Right-handed batters are hitting .077 against Houston Street. Overall, a 138 batting average against the former Colorado Rocky. He's drafted by Oakland.
Sinker, slider, changeup, probably his signature pitch. Doesn't throw it as much as Boxberger, but he's got a good one. He's not going to overpower you. His fastball a little bit below average in terms of velocity.
Dale Thayer could be in the win circle for the first time as a major leaguer. You see the breakdown on Street. Thayer at a 1-2-3 ninth with a strikeout. He's 0-3 lifetime in the big leagues. Jed Lowry's ready to start it in the home 10th inning. He had an RBI double in the 5th. He's 1 for 4 with a walk. Marino made that tremendous diving catch on him, diving toward the outfield with a backhanded play in the 7th inning to rob Lowry of what looked like a hit. Guzman close to the line at first. And there's strike 1 for Street. Street had 29 saves last year for the Rockies in 33 opportunities. He's on the disabled list for a time this season. Off-speed pitch makes it a 1-ball 1-strike count. Had a strained right latissimus dorsi, and he left the game in early May, was placed on the DL, and came back a month later, June 5th. In his career, he's converted 83.2% of his save opportunities, 188 for 226. Two balls and a strike as he runs the ball away from Lowry.
You hear that number go, oh, that's good, 83%, but I don't know.
It's not Trevor Hoffman good.
No, I don't mean to diss him, but I think you could take just about any major league relief pitcher, put him in that closer's role, and they're going to get you 83%.
Lowry hits one out of play.
Probably be hearing from the closers union, getting ugly mail.
Yeah. Well, you don't open that mail anyway. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Street pitched yesterday and nailed down the 2-0 win over Seattle with a hitless inning, striking out 2. And strikes out Lowry, 1 out. Change up.
He's got a dandy. It's like the Padres, because of the success of Hoffman, they're running to these changeup guys with Boxberger and Street.
They sure are. Carlos Lee homered in the first inning. He's 1 for 5. Street, a former Longhorn. Crack bat roller. Guzman backhanding, tossing. Street had to stab a couple of times to get the base. 2 outs. Street pitched for the College World Series championship team at UT in 02. To Westlake High School in Austin. His father James led UT to a football championship in '69. Brian Bogusevic is 0 for 4 with a walk, scored a run. Padres are beginning a 10-game road trip. It's been a battle tonight. They lead by 1 with 1 out to go. Chris Johnson on deck. And there's ball 1 to Bogey. Bud Black has used 6 pitchers. It's a 2-ball, no strike count. Started with Ross Ohlendorf. He went 3 2/3, allowing 8 hits and 5 runs. Since then, there's only been 1 earned run allowed by his relief corps.
Come on, Houston!
Boxberger was charged with a run, but it was unearned because of his own throwing error on a pickoff play. And then the home run by Castro came off Gregerson in the 8th. Well, you can't count on a fastball from Street in any situation, but you might cheat on one here. 3-0. Yeah. I think that's the time to turn it loose. You know, he's the kind of guy, he has such a good changeup. You can't count on seeing it here 3-1, the fastball, but on 3-0, you feel pretty good chances you're going to get a heater.
And he missed ball 4, 2-out walk. Bogusevic, who runs well, is aboard for Chris Johnson. Chris has been on 3 times, 2 singles and a walk. He drove in a run.
He's been the man for the Astros lately. He's been their hottest hitter.
Wonder if that was James Street in that shot there we just saw. Got some Longhorn fans here anyway. Jason Castro on deck. Big ball 1. Bogey did not have a big lead that time.
No doubles in the outfield for the Padres. Extremely deep in left, center, and right. Maybe a step or 2 towards right center. CJ's more likely to hit it towards that alley than on the pull side.
He pops it up. Second baseman Forsythe over. And the Padres win this one in 10. The Astros go to 0-7 in extra innings. San Diego showing some fight. Digging out a 10th inning run on the double by Quentin. And the final score is the Padres 8 and the Astros 7 in 10 innings tonight.